Chapter 3:13. What was a divine sword? That was a divine sword. That was an invincible divine sword. Su Yun looked at the seven-headed spirit demon general's corpse that was gradually collapsing, his mind still in shock. He turned to look at Ling Qingyu, only to see her hugging her breasts, the corners of her mouth raised slightly, her eyes forming a crescent shape, revealing a pleased smile. "Since when did your sword become so powerful?" He went over and asked. "Hee, my cultivation has broken through, and my sword is powerful. Furthermore, my spirit chi can restrain the spirit demon chi. With my sword, forget about the seven-headed spirit demon general, I can even behead the spirit demon emperor." Ling Qingyu said happily, her face filled with pride. Su Yun did not doubt her words. The seven-headed spirit demon general had unleashed his strongest defensive technique, but in front of the contracted victory sword, it was like a piece of paper, with no defense at all. "Good. Good. Very good. And you actually killed my seven-headed spirit demon general. Seems like I have underestimated you." With the death of the seven-headed spirit demon general, the spirit demon emperor was enraged. He seemed to have lost his patience. His eyes flashed with a green light, the spirit demon chi around his body became chaotic, and his killing intent soared. Seeing that, Su Yun's face congealed. Suddenly, Ling Qingyu, who was by the side, shouted, "Su Yun, be careful!" With that said, a formless suction force enveloped Su Yun, pulling his body towards the spirit demon emperor. Su Yun did his best to stop himself. He wanted to control his body, but the force was far stronger than him, and no matter how he resisted, it was useless. The spirit demon emperor chanted, with a point of his finger, a square seal formation appeared in front of him, and Su Yun immediately rushed towards the seal formation. "Since you killed my seven-headed spirit demon general, then, I will turn you into a spirit demon, and replace the seven-headed spirit demon general as my slave forever." The spirit demon emperor bellowed. "Go f***ck yourself." Su Yun roared and slashed towards the seal formation. The snow-white sword blade was like a rainbow that sliced through the sky, nimbly and swiftly slashing towards the seal formation. But the spirit demon emperor seemed to be prepared. With a move of his finger, the seal formation suddenly released a burst of powerful profound spirit chi that did not seem like spirit demon chi. It transformed into a sharp thorn, blocking the contracted victory sword. The sword blade struck the thorn, and was immediately repelled back. Dong! Su Yun's arm went numb, and the halo on the contracted swords weakened by 30%, while Ling Qingyu, who was below, seemed to be at a disadvantage, as she felt a sweetness in her throat, and a mouthful of blood flowed out. "Sister Qingyu, are you all right?" Qing who was at the side, immediately held onto the swaying Ling Qingyu. "I'm fine." Ling Qingyu shook her head, her eyes looking into the sky, only to see that Su Yun was still being sucked in by the seal array, and was about to crash into it. "Su Yun, be careful." The spirit demon emperor had also cultivated Jing Yi's chi. The more powerful you kill him, the more he will be able to return the favor. Don't fight him head-on. The voice entered Su Yun's ears. He clenched his teeth. He controlled the 1,000 swords to block in front of him, and gave up on using the immortal mystical scarlet blood sword to attack the seal formation. "Little girl, you actually recognize this Empress's Jingyi aura. You're quite knowledgeable, but today, no one can save this person." The spirit demon emperor roared. The powerful force dispersed the 1,000 swords, and then increased the pulling force on Su Yun, causing Su Yun to fly even faster towards the imprint. But right at that moment, Su Yun suddenly disappeared. "Huh!" The spirit demon emperor frowned. He immediately tried to capture the surrounding spirit chi, but to no avail. It was as though Su Yun had disappeared into thin air, and not a trace of him could be seen. Whoosh! Suddenly, the seal formation in front of the spirit demon emperor shattered, and a man stepping on a red cloud suddenly appeared, holding onto a spear. He fiercely thrusted towards the spirit demon emperor. The spirit demon emperor could not react in time, and was immediately pierced in the chest by the spear. The spear tip exploded, and a destructive force that could destroy the heaven and earth rippled out. Everyone on Cheen Creek was shaken by the force. They were thrown into a mess, the air trembled, the ground shook, the scene was extremely majestic. The spirit demon emperor was caught unprepared. He was flung out, crashing into a tall mountain not far away. The destructive force from his body was transmitted to the mountain, causing it to immediately crumble, causing rocks to fly everywhere. After the attack, the man holding the spear on the red cloud immediately disappeared, and when he appeared again, he had regained Su Yun's original appearance. Flame God Monarch? This is a God power strike. This Empress recognizes this mystical technique. Upon activating this mystical technique, I can transform into a God spirit and release the next attack. This is the mystical technique of the Bitter God sect. But a pity, the Bitter God sect was already destroyed by this Empress 300 years ago. This Empress thought that no one else knew this technique, but I never thought that you would actually learn it. The Spirit Demon Emperor said. Su Yun did not reply the Spirit Demon Emperor's words. He did not know any God power strike, and what he had unleashed was only the consummate technique of the sprite's shadow. Using his own mystical technique to fight against the Spirit Demon Emperor was not enough. He retreated a few steps, not daring to push the Spirit Demon Emperor too hard, and looked towards the Death Sword. Why is the Crossfire Heaven Lord taking so long to remove the seal? Su Yun thought anxiously. Whoosh! Just then, a sense of powerlessness appeared, and it became more and more intense. The abundant profound spirit chi in his body quickly dropped like a receding tide, and in a moment, Su Yun had dropped from the first stage of the Spirit Star Realm to the sixth stage of the Spirit Soul Realm. Shit, the Heavenly Crystal's effect has disappeared. Su Yun knew that something was wrong. The Heavenly Crystal was his last resort. If the Heavenly Crystal was powerless, then he definitely did not have the qualifications to fight against the Spirit Demon Emperor. Human. Just then, the Crossfire Heaven Lord's bellow came out from the blue dome of heaven. Following that, the scarlet light exploded, the temperature in the air suddenly rose, the pitch-black death sword was completely enveloped by the red light. It was extremely extraordinary. The seal has been removed? Su Yun suddenly turned his head and looked at the death sword, only to see the death sword that was floating in the air suddenly dropping down, landing on the ground. The entire sword was filled with death chi, and did not have the name of a sovereign king. The seal has been removed, the rest is up to you, although your current strength is unable to unleash its full power, but as long as it is here, even the Spirit Demon Emperor will not be able to easily kill you. But if you were to pick up this sword, you would already be dead. Think about it yourself, and take care of yourself. The Crossfire Heaven Lord's words floated in the air, and then the scarlet light slowly dissipated, the temperature gradually returning to normal, and in the next moment, the Crossfire Heaven Lord's spirit chi disappeared without a trace. Su Yun frowned. He knew what the Crossfire Heaven Lord meant, but at the moment, he did not have the time to think about it. Who would dare to hesitate? He immediately rushed over and removed the contracted victory sword, extending his right hand out to touch the death sword's sword hilt. Bada! The sword hilt was in his hand, and the entire death sword was lifted up. But the so-called Sovereign King sword did not have any strange movements, there were no changes, and did not bestow any absolute power upon Su Yun. It still maintained its lifeless appearance. This sword is good. Good. Truly a good sword. Ha ha, but it belongs to me now. The Spirit Demon Emperor suddenly laughed out loud, as though he had sensed something. His body moved, and with an extremely arrogant stance, he rushed towards Su Yun. He raised his right hand, which enlarged infinitely, like a huge mountain crashing over. Su Yun's face tensed up. He wanted to escape, but the palm seemed to be able to cover the sky, and he had nowhere to run. Helpless, he clenched his teeth, and used all his strength to slash the death sword. Just as he controlled the death sword to slash, the death sword's sword body suddenly released a throbbing sensation. Following that, Su Yun felt the hand that was holding onto the sword itching, as though something was connecting to his palm, causing his mind to be struck, causing his mind to become blank for a short period of time, with only one thought in his mind: to destroy the spirit demon emperor. What kind of strange feeling was that? He swore that he had never felt such a strange feeling in his life. Whoosh! The death sword suddenly released an ominous light aura. The dense evil chi converged to form a divine blade, and with an imposing manner that could cut through everything, it slashed towards the spirit demon emperor. The spirit demon emperor's face changed. He anxiously retracted his palm, but he was too slow. The black light moved, tearing through the sky, and the gigantic palm was instantly sliced apart. Poochie! The palm fell to the ground. Spirit demon chi spewed out frantically. The entire Chin Creek was completely enveloped by it. The spirit demon emperor retreated. His pair of green eyes looked at the sword in shock, his eyes filled with disbelief. What a strange power! What exactly is this sword? This power does not belong to you. Human! What weapon are you controlling? Who cares what weapon it is, as long as it can kill you? It is a good weapon. Su Yun clenched his teeth. He did not care about the feeling that the death sword gave him. He continued to chase and attack the spirit demon emperor. Full of evil chi erupted from the death sword's sword body. It was like a gigantic beast's mouth, completely devouring Su Yun. Su Yun felt that his mind was becoming more and more difficult to think. His mind was becoming more and more blank, as though the death sword was controlling all of his thoughts. But the more it was like that, the more powerful the death sword became, as though it was borrowing his body, using its own method to release the most astonishing attack. If this continued, his thoughts would truly be devoured by the death sword, and he would become a walking corpse. But it doesn't matter. At this point, what choice do I have? Su Yun turned his head to look at Ling Qing Yu and Qing Er, his eyes becoming more and more determined. Do you know what you're doing? This sword will devour you. It will completely possess you. Human, are you willing to give up on your life? Quickly stop. The spirit demon emperor roared. But it was useless. Death sword, death sword. Since you can use your method to defeat the spirit demon emperor, then dominate me. Even if I die in your hands, I will accept it. He roared. He no longer resisted the death sword. His entire body was completely dominated by the sword. If he gave up on the death sword, he would still die, so why not pick up the death sword and fight? In that moment, evil spirit chi filled his entire body. It was like an evil spring that would never dry up, frantically sending evil spirit chi into Su Yun's body. The spirit demon emperor had suffered a loss and was enraged. Seeing Su Yun being so crazy, he became even more enraged. He activated his spirit demon chi, and the broken palm once again grew a new palm. Then both palms flew towards Su Yun. The two palms released a large amount of spirit demon chi, which transformed into a whirlwind, sweeping towards Su Yun. Su Yun's entire body was inside the whirlwind. His body was being pulled by the spirit demon chi, as though he would be torn to shreds at any moment. But the spirit demon chi could not last for long. The death sword's sword body erupted with an even more ferocious evil spirit chi, enveloping Su Yun's body, and the spirit demon chi was immediately dispersed. Its power was not weaker than the spirit demon emperor. It was obvious that the sovereign king sword's grade was the same as the spirit demon emperor, or even higher than him. Su Yun's body leaped, holding onto the death sword. He rushed towards the spirit demon emperor. The death sword released an ominous light. The evil chi erupted, like an erupting volcano, releasing millions of evil spirit chi, slashing towards the spirit demon emperor. Clang! The intense sound exploded out in the sky above Chin Creek. The people below who were holding their breaths could only see that in the sky, Su Yun was holding onto the death sword tightly to kill the spirit demon emperor, but was blocked by the spirit demon emperor's spirit demon chi. The spirit demon emperor's expression was solemn. He defended against the strange sword with all his might, while Su Yun's face was pale white. The evil qi around his body continued to grow. He frantically used his strength, causing the death sword to tremble, the sword edge slowly tearing apart the spirit demon emperor's qi, slowly approaching the spirit demon emperor. The spirit demon emperor seemed to be unable to hold on any longer. He chanted an incantation, and a large number of spirit demon hands appeared behind him, extending towards Su Yun. Qi! Just then, a shrill sound came out. A terrifying and ferocious evil spirit suddenly appeared from the death sword's blade. Its body was pitch black, its appearance sinister. Using the death sword as a base, it suddenly jumped out, brandishing its claws. It directly grabbed towards the spirit demon emperor's head. What? The spirit demon emperor's heart tensed up. Chapter 3:14. The evil soul tore apart the demonic hands and directly reached towards the demon emperor like the claws of a tiger. You can actually destroy my demonic qi. Could it be that the power contained within this sword is a level higher than my power? The spirit demon emperor immediately let go. His body suddenly became empty and disappeared, causing the death sword to slash empty air. Su Yun raised his head to look, only to see that the spirit demon emperor was already 100 meters away. At the moment, Su Yun's entire body was enveloped by the evil qi. His face was extremely pale, his eyes were pitch black, and his breathing was extremely intense. He felt that it was extremely strenuous for his brain to think, and his mind was about to fall. However, the more uncontrollable the death sword was, the more astonishing the power it unleashed. It was as though the existence of humans was just to contain the death sword. Su Yun growled. He pounced forward again, the dense sword might rippling out. But, the spirit demon emperor seemed to have sensed something, and actually did not fight head-on with Su Yun, but instead continued to dodge and retreat. Su Yun slashed a few times. The vast sword qi seemed to want to shatter the sky. Such shocking power. When did this sword become so powerful? The spirit demon emperor was startled, his eyes revealing a trace of contemplation. But after a moment, he seemed to have understood something. He stared at Su Yun and said coldly, "Truly an ignorant person. With your strength, you are unable to control this sword. If this continues, you will only be devoured by this sword, and at that time, I don't even need to do anything. You will die in the hands of this sword. Once you're dead, I'll make a move and snatch this sword." Hearing that, a thought flashed past Su Yun's muddle-headed mind. His body could not help but tremble, and cold sweat flowed out. That's right, if this continued, they would definitely die. If his consciousness was devoured by the death sword, and the spirit demon emperor seized the death sword, wouldn't it be difficult for them to escape the fate of being destroyed by the spirit demons? At this time, he could not allow the death sword to act recklessly. He suddenly thought of the Crossfire Heaven Lord's words. Is this sword the sovereign king, or are you the sovereign king? If the sword became the sovereign king, then it would lose everything. Only by becoming the sovereign king could one control everything. Thinking about that, Su Yun clenched his teeth. His gaze was like a torch, staring fiercely at the death sword. Whoosh! Just then, the death sword suddenly moved, urging Su Yun to slash towards the spirit demon emperor. But, at that moment, Su Yun suddenly released his strength, stopping the death sword's attack, and used all his strength to retract his sword. The death sword was in a deadlock with him, the sword trembling in the air. Seeing that, the spirit demon emperor's eyes released an ominous glint, and immediately attacked Su Yun. Su Yun's face tensed up. He used all his strength to block the death sword towards his chest. Dang! The spirit demon emperor's palm smashed onto the death sword's blade, but the powerful force flowed along the sword's blade and into Su Yun's body, causing him to drop down, smashing onto the ground. At that moment, he felt as though his entire body had shattered. It was extremely painful. Seeing that, Qing Er's eyes were filled with pain, she clenched her teeth, turned and ran towards Yi Liao and the rest. Senior Yi Liao, could it be that you want to watch my young master die? Please give the order. We will attack together and slay the demon together. What nonsense are you spouting, Su Qing'er? This is a one-on-one battle between the Spirit Demon Emperor and Su Yun. How can we make a move? That's right. If we make a move, the demons will also make a move. At that time, things will really get out of hand. You want to use Qin Creek as the battlefield? The people at the back shouted. Yu Qing'er scolded angrily. A group of cowards, do you think the Spirit Demon Emperor will let you go? If he kills my young master, he will definitely find trouble with all of you, and none of you will be able to stay out of this. Now, my young master still has the ability to contend with the Spirit Demon Emperor. If we all attack together, we might be able to catch the Spirit Demon people off guard. If all of you continue to sit here and watch the fire burn, if anything happens to my young master, the Spirit Demon Emperor and the rest will not have any worries. At that time, who will fight the Spirit Demon Emperor? If it really reaches that stage, no one will be able to leave Qin Creek alive. With that said, many of them were speechless. That's right, who set the rules for the Spirit Demon Emperor to fight Su Yun one-on-one? Miss Su is right. This is the best time for us to kill the Spirit Demon. The Spirit Demon Emperor is still a spirit demon. How can we believe his words? If we do not take action now, when will we? Yi Liao nodded his head and stood up. He then leapt into the air and flew, looking at the countless of people behind him. He then shouted, Fellow cultivators, our sky martial continent has been peaceful for hundreds and thousands of years. Now that the spirit demons are invading, as sky martial continent's people, how can we sit back and do nothing? Kill the spirit demons. We will not shirk our responsibilities. Everyone follow me and kill the Spirit Demon Emperor. Chase all the Spirit Demon people out. Kill. With that said, Yi Liao was the first to lead the charge. Seeing that Yi Liao had made his move, Yuan Shaolin, Gu Qingwu and the rest did not hesitate and followed behind. The four officials caught their breaths and immediately called for everyone to kill the Spirit Demon people. The Qin Creek people were like a torrential river, rushing towards the Spirit Demon army. A huge battle was about to break out. Yi Liao was not an idiot. He understood Qing'er's meaning. The Spirit Demon Emperor wanted to kill Su Yun, but it did not mean that the Spirit Demon people would let it go if Su Yun died. Su Yun seemed to have the ability to restrict the Spirit Demon Emperor. If the Qin Creek people were to remain indifferent, then they would truly be sending themselves to their graves. There were many intelligent people, thus when Yi Liao called out, everyone responded. The flood of people rushed towards the Spirit Demon people, a large amount of light auras exploded out, and the sky above Qin Creek also released a large amount of fireworks. All of the signals flew into the sky and exploded. The beautiful fireworks seemed to cover the entire sky. The intensity of the signal was enough for half of the people in the northern continent to see. It was a signal for help. At that moment, countless of powerful experts and sect heroes from the northern continent were all rushing over. What audacity! What audacity! You actually dare to go against this emperor, and provoke this emperor! Since it's like that, then don't blame this emperor for being impolite. Seeing that the Qin Creek people had actually made their move, the Spirit Demon Emperor pretended to be angry, but he was extremely happy in his heart. He had been waiting for this opportunity. Now that Yi Liao had made his move, he could officially take action against Qin Creek. 10 great Spirit Demon Generals, 15 Spirit Demon Guards, 7 Spirit Demon Commanders, listen up! Slaughter the entire Qin Creek, bathe Qin Creek in blood. Do not leave a single one alive. Bring all of their souls back to the Spirit Demon realm, and let us enslave them. The Spirit Demon Emperor roared. Yes, Your Majesty! The Spirit Demon army released excited shouts. Following that, a green tide surged out, striking towards the Qin Creek people. The battle erupted, and the intense slaughter unfolded. Mu Yi was surrounded by a few Spirit Demon guards, and retreated to the back. But Yi Liao and the rest's target was obviously him. although the 3/4 stage Spirit Star Realm experts were at a disadvantage when fighting with the Spirit Demon Emperor, and were injured, but they still had fighting strength. They took the lead, leading Cheen Creek and the other participants, rushing towards the Spirit Demon army, every single one of them forgetting about life and death. No one dared to hold back. If they were to lose, their souls would be imprisoned, and they would be eternally tortured by the Spirit Demon people. In the air, Su Yun was still holding onto the Death Sword tightly. The Death Sword was extremely restless. The evil spirit force in its entire body was corroding Su Yun's body, wanting to urge him to continue killing the Spirit Demon Emperor, but Su Yun gave up on attacking the Spirit Demon Emperor. I am the one using the sword, not the sword. Su Yun thought in his mind. The hand holding onto the Death Sword became more and more ferocious. If you resist this sword, you will not be able to win against me, and if you are unable to resist this sword, you will be devoured by it. No matter what, you will lose. Human, you are still too immature. The Spirit Demon Emperor laughed coldly, and struck out with his palm. Seeing that, Su Yun anxiously pulled out the immortal mystical Scarlet Blood Sword, planning to use 1,000 swords to block, but that was obviously not possible. Although the immortal mystical Scarlet Blood Sword was a primal sword, Su Yun's cultivation was too low, and it was impossible for him to use them to block the Spirit Demon Emperor's attack. Spirit Demon Emperor, do you really think there is no one else in Cheen Creek? Just then, Yi Liao suddenly rushed over, his palm striking the Spirit Demon Emperor. Bang! The Spirit Demon Emperor was flung back, but with the palm, Yi Liao did not gain any advantage. The Spirit Demon Qi in the Spirit Demon Emperor's palm had invaded Yi Liao's body, causing his skin to split open, and he fell to the ground, his life and death unknown. He was already heavily injured. How could he take on the full force attack? Seeing that Yi Liao had taken on the Spirit Demon Emperor's palm for him, Su Yun's eyes were filled with endless rage. He stared at the Death Sword, looked at the pitch-black sword body, and waved his hand, forcefully controlling the Death Sword to slash at the Spirit Demon Emperor. The Death Sword wanted to control his body to slash at the Spirit Demon Emperor's head, but Su Yun used all his strength, thrusting the Death Sword towards the Spirit Demon Emperor's chest. The sword tip trembled. Although it was extremely imposing, its might was greatly reduced. The Spirit Demon Emperor snorted. He flicked his finger, and a large amount of Spirit Demon Qi blades struck towards Su Yun. Bang 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 bang! The Spirit Demon Qi blades struck his body, causing the large amount of evil Qi surrounding him to dissipate, and then the Spirit Demon Qi blades transformed into Spirit Demon spirits, grabbing onto Su Yun's 4 limbs, intending to dismember him alive. Su Yun pulled out the immortal mystical Scarlet Blood Sword again, cutting the Spirit Demon spirits, and then using all his strength, he swung the Death Sword towards the Spirit Demon Emperor. This time, the Death Sword wanted to attack the Spirit Demon Emperor's lower body, but Su Yun used all his strength, and controlled it to slash towards the Spirit Demon Emperor's head. Boom! The Spirit Demon Emperor activated his mystical technique again, causing the air to tremble, causing the Death Sword to fly back, causing Su Yun to fall heavily onto the ground with his sword. The Death Sword seemed to be completely enraged. It trembled frantically, and kept on swinging, wanting to struggle out of Su Yun's hands and escape from his control. But Su Yun used all of his profound spirit qi to control the Death Sword, not allowing it to struggle free. At this time, only by completely controlling the Death Sword could he survive. He thought about the time when he subdued the Death Sword, and only by using absolute power to make it submit, could he control it as he wished. Thinking about that, he made a decision in his heart, holding on to the immortal mystical scarlet blood. He directly struck the Death Sword's blade. Clang! The blood-red sword smashed onto the pitch-black blade, causing sparks to erupt. But it was not over yet. 1,000 sub-swords attacked together, with the Death Sword as their target. They attacked crazily. The clanking sounds did not stop. The Death Sword did not stop. it retaliated with all its might. In a moment, the scene of 1,000 sub-swords fighting against the death sword appeared. Huh! The spirit demon emperor in the sky was startled. He did not understand. Su Yun's finger flashed with a black light, and he threw the death sword into the sky. In that moment, the sky was filled with a pitch-black mist. A gigantic dragon sword descended from the sky, fiercely smashing onto the death sword, cleaving the heavens, beheading the dragon. Boom! In that moment, the ground shook and the mountains crumbled. What is he doing? Chapter 3:15. What is that idiot Su Yun doing? Was he going to destroy the death sword? The only thing we can rely on now is the death sword. Upon seeing that, Ling Qingyu, who was far away, stomped her feet in anger. Young master definitely has his own plans. Sister Qingyu, we better think of a way to retreat. Qing'er said. Retreat? How could they retreat? Where are you going? Ling Qingyu asked. Qing'er did not say anything. The cleaving the heavens dragon sword slash created a huge crater in the ground, causing Su Yun to retreat a few steps. After it was over, he anxiously ran towards the crater. However, the death sword was quietly lying in the pit, the evil qi around its body dissipating, returning to its previous luster. Seeing that, Su Yun immediately pulled it out. What was surprising was that this time, it was incomparably easy to draw the sword. The sword elder had said that the death sword was intelligent. My previous attacks had already caused it to fear me. Although my strength could not be compared to it, at least I had let it know of my determination. Let it understand that I will even destroy it regardless of the consequences. Don't go against my will. Su Yun took a deep breath. He kept the immortal mystical scarlet blood sword back into the sword sheath on his back. He grabbed onto the death sword with both hands and stared at the spirit demon emperor in the sky. Holding his breath, he suddenly transformed into a black shadow and rushed forward. Evil sword technique was unleashed. A large number of sword shadows burst forth from the black shadow and engulfed the demon emperor. Oh? Have you made the sword obey you temporarily? Although it's just a small trick, it's useless against this emperor. The spirit demon emperor was not afraid. With a wave of his hand, a dark green halberd appeared in his hand. He stared at Su Yun's death sword and suddenly attacked. Dang! The halberd blocked the death sword's blade. Su Yun suddenly revealed a strange smile. Roar! At this time, the death sword's sword body released another fierce and mournful evil spirit, which rushed towards the spirit demon emperor. This move again? However, the same move is no longer a threat to this emperor. The demon emperor roared and grabbed the evil soul with one hand. Then, he clenched his fist and the evil soul immediately shattered. But in the next second, a sharp white blade cut off the demon emperor's wrist and pierced his chest. The spirit demon emperor opened his eyes wide in shock, only to see that Su Yun had unknowingly taken out a snow-white sword that looked like a whip. The contracted victory sword? Father! Mu Yi, who was behind, panicked. She roared and rushed forward to help. Su Yun, don't hesitate, kill him. Mu Yi's face was pale white as she shouted weakly. This was a great opportunity. The contracted sword could restrain demonic qi and could easily pierce through the defenses of a demonic emperor. Su Yun's eyes turned cold. He moved his arms, holding onto the contracted sword tightly. He activated his power and swept the sword horizontally. Qi! The spirit demon emperor's chest had been completely cut open, revealing a large amount of dark green organs and bones. All right. When the Qin Creek experts below saw that, they were extremely happy. Yuan Shaolin rushed forward and blocked Mu Yi, who was planning to support Su Yun. Lord Su, we will deal with the others. Quickly kill the demon emperor and get rid of a huge threat for the Sky Martial Continent. Yuan Shaolin shouted. Do you think that you can kill me with just this kid? You must be dreaming. The spirit demon emperor roared, his entire body releasing qi rings, causing Su Yun to be flung away. He endured the tearing pain coming from his chest. Raising both of his hands, he quickly activated a mystical technique, causing a ball of dark green demonic chi to revolve around his palms, which quickly disappeared. He waved both of his palms and bellowed, "Limitless tear! Pada!" Su Yun's body released a dull sound. He felt as though he was struck by something. Following that, an intense pain spread out from all over his body. He felt as though his body was being torn apart. His brain seemed to have stopped thinking, and his heart stopped beating. "Let me tear you apart!" The spirit demon emperor roared, his palms slowly moving to the left and right, and as he moved his palms further apart, Su Yun felt that his entire body was being torn apart. "If this goes on, I will definitely die." Su Yun used all his strength to raise the death sword in his hand, staring fiercely at the spirit demon emperor. Suddenly, his fingers loosened, and the death sword flew out, straight towards the spirit demon emperor. Limitless sword arts. At that moment, the death sword that was completely under Su Yun's control was extremely powerful. Even the spirit demon emperor did not dare look down on it. He immediately stopped his technique and used his halberd to strike the death sword. So, just as the death sword was sent flying, the contracted sword flew over again. The spirit demon emperor was caught off guard, and was struck by the sword on his shoulder. A deep sword scar appeared, and his mystical technique was broken. "It's my turn." Su Yun's eyes were filled with evil chi, the 10,000 evil spirit essences on his body erupted. He rushed forward again. With a clench of his hand, the death sword flew over by itself. The black and white swords danced wildly, like two ferocious dragons. They attacked the spirit demon emperor. The spirit demon emperor quickly swung his halberd, but he was unable to block Su Yun's attacks. The great evil sword technique was activated. The death sword was strange and hard to find. Sometimes it would slash upwards, sometimes it would slash downwards. The sword body would even release evil spirits to attack. It was impossible to defend against. The contracted sword was even more terrifying. It was extremely effective against spirit demon chi. It was practically invincible. No matter what mystical technique the spirit demon emperor unleashed, it would all be destroyed by it. The sky was filled with sword images, as though they wanted to cover the entire sky. "Impossible! Impossible, you're just a 6th stage spirit soul realm cultivator. How can you fight against me? Even with the help of this sword, you are definitely not my opponent." The spirit demon emperor's eyes were wide open. He looked at the man dressed in black in disbelief. But he slowly realized that he was wrong. Following Su Yun's continuous attacks with the death sword, the spirit chi around Su Yun's body started to rise, and in the blink of an eye, he had already surpassed the 1st stage of the spirit star realm. The spirit demon emperor was shocked. He looked over, only to see that Su Yun was holding onto the death sword tightly, and was frantically injecting evil spirit chi into his body. This sword, it bestowed him with power that was not weaker than his own. "Father, be careful." Just then, Mu-Yi shouted anxiously. The spirit demon emperor's heart tensed up. Before he could even react, a snow light swept past, and with a poochie sound, the spirit demon emperor's arm was sliced off. "It's over!" Su Yun roared. He stabbed the death sword straight into the spirit demon emperor's heart. "Poochie!" An ear-piercing sound came out. The spirit demon emperor's entire body trembled, and he became completely motionless. Su Yun's sinister face stuck to the spirit demon emperor's strange face, his eyes revealing an indescribable sinister look. With the heart pierced, if it was an ordinary person, they would already be dead. Even if the spirit demon emperor did not die, he would at least be restricted. Furthermore, one of his arms was sliced off, causing his fighting strength to drop greatly. Su Yun, who was bestowed with the death sword's immense power, did not need to worry about him. "Ha ha 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 ha!" Just then, the spirit demon emperor suddenly laughed out loud, his dark green eyes revealing a strange light aura. Su Yun frowned. "What are you laughing at?" "I am laughing at you for being too naive." You want to fight against this emperor just by relying on a magic treasure? Haha, have you forgotten what this emperor is? I am the spirit demon emperor. How can I be so easily injured by you? You are truly too ignorant. An ant will always be an ant. Ha 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 ha. The spirit demon emperor laughed out loud, his expression suddenly becoming sinister, his mouth revealing a dense, sinister look. Actually, with your strength, this emperor can easily kill you, but this emperor has taken a fancy to the sword in your hand. I do not know what sword it is, but I know only you can force out its potential, and now that its power has been completely unleashed, it is time for me to make my move. With that said, the spirit demon emperor suddenly extended his hand out, tightly grabbing onto the death sword's blade. He laughed. I will let you experience the Spirit Demon Tao's supreme divine technique, Spirit Extraction divine technique. Your and all the power in this sword will all be absorbed by me and transformed into my own strength. With that, the hand that was holding onto the death sword, as well as the hole in his heart, released a large amount of strange green light. After that, Su Yun felt as though his body was being restrained by something, unable to move, and the profound spirit chi in his body was like a broken faucet, continuously leaking out, passing through the death sword and rushing into the spirit demon emperor's body. At the same time, the spirit essences in his body quickly closed. He could clearly feel his own cultivation dropping frantically. The power that the death sword bestowed to him was quickly depleted, and he returned to the 6th stage of the spirit soul realm. Following that was the 5th stage. 4th stage. If this continued, in less than 20 breaths of time, Su Yun would definitely be sucked back to the spirit novice realm. Just that. While the spirit demon emperor was sucking to his heart's content, Su Yun did not reveal any signs of fear, so much so that he did not even reveal any expression of shock. The spirit demon emperor, who was as intelligent as a spirit demon, could sense that something was wrong. His nerves tensed up, and he felt that something was amiss. Aren't you afraid? Why aren't you resisting? Why should I be afraid? Why should I resist? Su Yun raised his hand, a black ring on his finger flashing. He laughed, his pale white face looking extremely strange. Do you know about the sprite's shadow? The ring that sealed the 72 ultimate techniques. Its ultimate techniques are arranged according to the Tao sect's 72 deity hearts. The first technique, black, corresponds to the black shadow absolute lotus. The second technique, break, corresponds to the cleaving the heavens dragon slash. The third technique, tiger king's 4-directional roar. The fourth technique, extraterrestrial meteor arrow. The fifth technique, formless war god seal. The sixth technique, blood-colored gravestone. The seventh technique, divine force. Strike, then, according to the Tao sect's 72 deity hearts. Do you know the name of the 10th technique? The Tao sect's 72 deity hearts diagram? The 10th word should be reverse? The spirit demon emperor's eyes widened, as though he thought of something. Don't tell me, that's right, the 10th technique, reverse, is the absolute grade mystical technique, reverse yin-yang dragon art. I originally wanted to use it to deal with your killing blow, but maybe it's the best time to use it now. Su Yun said softly. The moment he said that, a burst of spirit chi burst out from Su Yun's fingers. The energy that was frantically absorbing the death sword and Su Yun's cultivation suddenly stopped. Following that, the energy seemed to twist, and was being extracted in reverse. The surging energy in the spirit demon emperor's body was like a flood, pouring into Su Yun's body. 3rd stage, spirit soul realm. 4th stage. 5th stage. 6th stage. 7th stage. 8th stage. In just a few breaths of time, Su Yun had actually rushed from the 6th stage of the spirit soul realm to the 2nd stage of the spirit star realm. Ah! The spirit demon emperor's eye sockets cracked. He immediately stopped the spirit extraction divine technique, but the reverse yin-yang dragon art had already recorded his mystical technique, and continued to extract it. Bang! In a moment of desperation, the spirit demon emperor directly detonated his own heart. The intense explosion came out, The spirit demon emperor's chest was pierced through, and he fell from the sky, falling into the spirit demon army below. He actually detonated his own heart. Can he still live? Su Yun looked at the spirit demon emperor whose face was ashen, his eyes revealing a sinister look. The spirit demon emperor would definitely not commit suicide. Maybe he was not dead yet. Now that he had taken the chance to steal the spirit demon emperor's cultivation, with the strength of a third-stage spirit star realm, what was there to fear? Immediately, Su Yun raised his sword and rushed towards the spirit demon emperor's body. Retreat! 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 The spirit demon emperor, whose chest was completely pierced, roared out, his voice extremely hoarse. The spirit demon emperor was defeated, and the spirit demon people had no more strength to fight. The matter of Chin Creek was a foregone conclusion. At that moment, regardless of how people judged Su Yun, who possessed evil chi, at least his name would spread throughout the entire Sky Martial continent, and even the spirit demon Dao, the evil realm. Chapter 316. Father! Mu Yi's shrill voice came out. No one had expected that such a change would occur in the originally one-sided battle. The spirit demon emperor lost? And his heart was destroyed, and his arm was chopped off? If not for everyone witnessing it with their own eyes, they would not dare believe their own eyes. Is this real? Tell me I'm not dreaming. That man called Su Yun, did he really defeat the spirit demon emperor? Who exactly is he? Is that spirit demon emperor the real spirit demon emperor? Questions came out non-stop. The dumbstruck people were as many as the stars in the sky. But in the next second, a solemn roar exploded out. This is not fake. Master Su Yun truly defeated the spirit demon emperor. Everyone, for the Sky Martial continent, for the billions of lives, kill the spirit demon emperor. Yuan Shaolin soared into the sky and shouted loudly. His voice resonated out, causing everyone to wake up from their dreams. All of them came to their senses and rushed towards the spirit demon emperor in a frenzy. Killing the spirit demon emperor would bring them unparalleled glory, endless riches, and even treasures. How could they let go of such a good thing? If they did not rush now, when would they? In a moment, all the powerful mystical techniques smashed towards the spirit demon emperor, covering the sky and earth like a dense rain. Retreat! Quickly retreat! The spirit demon emperor had already lost all of his fighting spirit. Although he was not dead, he was heavily injured, and his strength had been drained by Su Yun. How could he continue fighting? But it was strange. Su Yun had already drained a lot of the spirit demon emperor's cultivation. He had even broken through to the third stage of the spirit star realm, but he was still unable to rely on the heavenly scale divine eye to see through the spirit demon emperor's cultivation. Could it be that the spirit demon emperor was wearing some sort of treasure that could conceal his cultivation? Forget it, who cares? Su Yun stared at the spirit demon emperor's body, holding onto the sovereign king death sword tightly. He slashed forward. The death sword sovereign king released a mournful sword cry and slashed forward. The evil spirit on the sword body erupted, releasing a ferocious and astonishing pressure. Cutting the weeds and eliminating the roots had always been Su Yun's style. Boom! A dark green mirror-like barrier suddenly appeared above the spirit demon emperor, blocking the death sword. The barrier trembled incessantly. Its surface was being torn apart by the death sword's ferocious sword chi, as though it would not last for long. Below the cover, there was an exquisite and beautiful figure floating in the air. It was Mu Yi. Her beautiful face was pale, she gritted her teeth, her emerald eyes staring at Su Yun. Her delicate hands were placed on the barrier, trying her best to support the chi barrier. "Father! Go!" Mu Yi shouted. The spirit demon emperor was enraged. He quickly waved his hand and shouted, "Where are the spirit demon guards and spirit demon generals? Your subordinate is here." A large group of ferocious spirit demon people rushed over, all of them disregarding their lives, and rushed towards Su Yun. Courting death. Su Yun was enraged. At the moment, he was at his peak condition, like a war god. No one could stop him. Seeing that his spirit chi had stabilized, the evil chi around his body quickly transformed into two gigantic evil souls, extending their sharp claws towards the spirit demon generals. The evil spirit's chi was extremely powerful, and was not something that the spirit star realm cultivators could fight against. After exchanging a few blows with the evil spirit, they were all sent flying. Voila! At this time, a huge green whirlpool door appeared in the center of the sacred palace. Once the door appeared, a large number of demons rushed into it. Let's go! The spirit demon emperor roared weakly. He then waved his hand, releasing a burst of energy that enveloped Mu-Yi, and under the cover of the spirit demon generals, they rushed towards the whirlpool door. The spirit demon people are escaping. Chase, don't let them leave Chin Creek. The Chin Creek army below released an uplifting roar. Seeing the spirit demon people being defeated like a landslide, it was as though they had taken stimulants, all of them killing even more ferociously. More and more spirit demon people died in the hands of the Chin Creek people. The dense spirit demon chi in the sky finally started to dissipate. Su Yun killed a spirit demon person in front of him, and stared at the whirlpool door, only to see that the spirit demon emperor, Mu-Yi and the rest were already close to the door. The spirit demon emperor turned his ugly face, his green eyes filled with endless viciousness. Human! Today's matter will not end like this. The humiliation that you have brought to our spirit demon Tao, I will definitely return it in the future. Remember, we will find you again. The spirit demon emperor let go of his oath of hatred, and led the spirit demon people into the whirlpool, disappearing. The spirit demon people anxiously rushed towards the whirlpool, but just as the Chin Creek people were about to reach the whirlpool closed, leaving behind a few spirit demon people, who were all killed by the Chin Creek people. It's finally over. Seeing the desolate battlefield below him, Su Yun heaved a sigh of relief. Holding on to the death sword, he descended from the sky, slowly dispersing the spirit chi in his body. He looked at the destroyed sacred palace with a complicated gaze. Today's matter, he had no choice. He never thought that before settling the profound sky sect, he would provoke the spirit demon Tao. But to be able to preserve his life in front of the countless experts of the spirit demon Tao, he had to admit that his luck was too good. Young Master, Su Yun. Just then, two melodious voices came out. Ling Qing-yu and Qing-er ran over. Qing-er, who had a pale white face, had tears in her eyes, her face filled with anxiousness. She went closer to Su Yun and looked around. Seeing that Su Yun was fine, she whimpered and rushed into Su Yun's embrace, hugging him tightly. Ling Qing-yu, who was by the side, looked at the two of them with a complicated gaze. She sighed inwardly, but very quickly, she concealed the complicated look on her face and changed to a stern look. Su Yun, don't hesitate anymore. Let's go. Go! Su Yun was startled. Yes, quickly leave Chin Creek, quickly. Su Yun was confused. He looked at Ling Qing-yu strangely, but seeing her stern expression, she did not seem to be joking, so he nodded his head and threw the death sword into the air, then hugged Qing-er and stepped onto the death sword. Ling Qing-yu did not say anything. She transformed into a ray of white light and entered the sword sheath. Following that, the death sword flew out. She transformed into a black light and flew into the horizon. Su Yun. Master Su Yun. Yuan Shaolin and the rest who were below immediately shouted. But Su Yun could not hear them. He had already left Chin Creek. Why did Su Yun leave? Everyone else was confused. I never thought that Su Yun could actually win against the spirit demon emperor. What did he rely on? The people by the side asked in disbelief. Relying on treasures. Relying on that sword. Gu Qing-wu held on to his aching chest. He staggered over and looked at the horizon. Master Gu, how is Master Yiliao? He's fine. He has already been sent for treatment. That's good. Everyone heaved a sigh of relief. But Su Yun's sword, what kind of sword is it, to be so powerful, and where did his imperial sword technique originate from? Is it the evil realm? Evil realm? Masters, the power and chi that Su Yun displayed today were all evil chi and evil techniques, so without a doubt, even if he is not an evil realm being, he is definitely related to them. Then Xiao Chua will be so bold to ask, how does everyone plan to treat Su Yun in the future? Are you going to treat him as an evil realm being? Valkyrie Xiao Chua walked out of the crowd and asked Yuan Shaolin and the rest. Do you even need to ask? He is an evil realm being. Evil realm beings should be killed. The next time we meet Su Yun, we must not let him go so easily. One of them immediately expressed. That's right, evil demons and evil beings are not good people. They always think of ways to steal our sky martial people's power and souls, to help them cultivate, to let them enjoy themselves. Humans and evil demons are natural enemies. How can we let them go so easily? Everyone, you can't say that. If not for Master Su Yun fighting the Spirit Demon Emperor, I'm afraid Qin Creek would have become a river of blood. Come to think of it, he's the savior of all of us. That's right. Although Master Su Yun used evil chi, but other than that, he did not say that he is an evil realm being. To be able to use evil chi means he is an evil realm being? That's too far-fetched. He just saved you guys, and you guys are here to condemn him for killing him. Hee, isn't this considered being ungrateful? That's right, in the future when I see Master Su Yun, I will definitely not make him my enemy. Everyone started to clamor, expressing their own opinions. Xiao Chua's face turned cold. She turned her head and looked at the people who were planning to kill Su Yun to protect the piece of sky martial continent, and said, Everyone, do you think you have the strength to fight against Su Yun? A few of them looked at each other. What a joke. He had just fought the Spirit Demon Emperor, and caused the Spirit Demon Emperor to flee in panic. How could they fight against him? If you do not have the strength, please do not speak such arrogant words. If not for Su Yun, not only would I die, I am afraid that even more existences in Sky Martial Continent would die because of this. Although I, Xiao Chua, am a martial fanatic, but I know how to repay kindness. With that, Xiao Chua brought the blade and sword. Lady Xiao Xuan left. Without saying anything else, it was clear. Everyone present was dumbfounded. Single Yang Flame Yen Yu looked at Yuan Shaolin, hesitated for a moment, then asked, Master Yuan, what do you think of Su Yun? Yuan Shaolin was obviously asked this question. He hesitated for a long time, then looked at Gu Qingwu, and said, If Su Yun does not do anything that will let down Sky Martial Continent, I will not see him as an evil realm being. Of course, if he is in trouble, Qin Creek will definitely do its best to help. Yuan Shaolin spoke conservatively, but everyone knew that Yuan Shaolin was leaning towards Su Yun. In the future, if they provoked Su Yun again, not only would they have to consider their own strength, they would have to consider if they had the strength to fight against Qin Creek. Near Qin Creek, the disciples of the Immortal Sword sect had gathered. Just then, a snow-white figure flew over from the sky, and upon seeing it, it was Long Xianli. After the spirit demon appeared, she had immediately arranged for her disciples to leave Qin Creek, and then returned back to Qin Creek battlefield. This is an extremely good opportunity. We must take advantage of the chaos to kill Su Yun, and take revenge for Clan Elder Shen Hong. Long Xianli thought, but when she reached the battlefield, she could not make a move, and when Su Yun was in trouble, she actually had the urge to help. I definitely do not want to see him die in the hands of others, that's why I have such a feeling, it must be. Long Xianli's thoughts ran wild, her state of mind was in a mess. Su Yun's display of absolute strength caused her to be shocked, and she started to think what Su Yun had experienced in the past few years. She still remembered, at that time in the Su family, Su Yun was just a small spirit intermediate disciple, and now, he could actually fight with the Spirit Demon Emperor. Seeing Su Yun suddenly leave, Long Xianli's heart was empty. She was extremely disappointed. She completely did not understand what she was doing, and did not know if she hated Su Yun, or if she wanted to take revenge for Clan Elder Shen Hong. Clan Elder Long, what's wrong? Bai Yen Shan, who was by the side, asked curiously. Nothing. Long Xianli took a deep breath, adjusted her state of mind, and regained her elegant and pure look. Let's return to Immortal Sword Mountain. Yes. All of the disciples shouted. No one knew that Long Xianli's state of mind had completely changed. Chapter 317. In the Sky. The two of them stepped on a pitch-black sword and flew quickly. White clouds flew past them, with birds flying beneath their feet. The cold wind blew continuously, causing their robes to flutter. Quick! Faster! Faster! Quickly fly forward, quickly leave this place. Ling Qingyu's anxious voice came out from the sword sheath. Su Yun's head was filled with perspiration. He controlled the death sword and asked, Qingyu, what's going on? Why are you in such a rush to leave? If you don't leave now, it will be too late. Ling Qingyu immediately said. If you continue to stay in Qin Creek, your life will be in danger. It is safest to leave early. Do you understand? Understand what? Truly an idiot, you still don't understand? Regardless if it is the power bestowed upon you by the Death Sword or the power stolen from the Spirit Demon Emperor, it is not the power that you cultivated yourself. What does that matter? Furthermore, I am already a third-stage Spirit Star Realm cultivator. Even if I stay in Qin Creek, other than the 3 Guardian Elders, no one else will dare to do anything to me. You're wrong. Ling Qinyu shook her head. In the end, the power stolen from others is still stolen. It is different from the power that you cultivate yourself. It is like a bag that can only hold 50 kilograms of weight, forcefully stealing 100 kilograms of weight from others. Although it is heavy enough, the consequences are unthinkable. You mean, although your cultivation is already at the 3rd stage of the Spirit Star Realm, your body strength is far from enough. You cannot rely on mystical techniques to steal. If I am not wrong, I am afraid that once the power bestowed upon you by the Death Sword dissipates, you will. Before Ling Qinyu could finish, Su Yun's eyes turned black. His entire body suddenly became powerless. He fell down and fainted. The Death Sword swayed and finally dropped down from the sky. Seeing that, Qing immediately hugged Su Yun's body. Holding onto the Death Sword, she activated her profound spirit qi, slowing the impact, and steadily landed in the forest below. She anxiously placed Su Yun on the ground and checked. Realizing that he had only fainted, she heaved a sigh of relief. After an unknown period of time, Su Yun slowly opened his eyes. Seeing Qing standing beside him with a haggard expression, he felt a pain in his heart. Qing, what happened? What happened to me? Young master, you have fainted. Sister Qing, you said that after the Death Sword's power dissipates, your body will not be able to bear the burden from the continuous battles, and will definitely faint, so she anxiously wanted you to leave before the Death Sword's power dissipates. In today's battle, young master used the Evil Realm's mystical technique, adding the Death Sword, this mystical sword. It will definitely attract the hatred and greed of many people. Qin Creek is a place of trouble. If you stay for too long, even if you and Shaolin, Yi Liao and the rest will not find trouble with young master, it is hard to guarantee that others will not, so leaving early is the best choice. If he fainted in Qin Creek, the consequences would be unimaginable. Ling Qingyu is right. Su Yun nodded his head. He breathed with all his might. He took a deep breath, kept the Death Sword back into its sheath, and leaned on a tree to sit. The Death Sword's seal has been removed. It is no longer an ordinary primal sword. It is currently much stronger than the primal sword. When fighting with the Spirit Demon Emperor, I relied on the Sprite's Shadow's consummate technique, reverse yin-yang dragon art, to steal a large amount of the Spirit Demon Emperor's cultivation, causing my body to swell to an unprecedented degree, and can no longer contain the Death Sword's power. To be able to hold on until now is a miracle. I should have thought of this, but with so many things happening at the same time, I neglected it. At that time, Su Yun had wanted to take the opportunity to use the reverse yin-yang dragon art to absorb the Spirit Demon Emperor's cultivation, since not everyone knew the Spirit Demon Emperor's spirit extraction divine technique. But his own body was too weak. If he used it without restraint, it would only result in his body exploding, and to be able to absorb it to the third stage of the Spirit Star Realm was already an incredible thing. Now that the Death Sword had been unsealed, its power had multiplied, and he had also absorbed a large amount of the Spirit Demon Emperor's cultivation. His body was completely unable to keep up with the profound spirit chi, and in the following days, he had to focus on training his body, and use the Death Sword sparingly, to prevent himself from harming his body and cultivation. "That's right, where's Qingyu?" Su Yun suddenly asked. Big Sister Qingyu said she returned to the Limitless sword sheath to rest, and doesn't want us to disturb her. Oh. The contracted sword had been unleashed, and with the huge consumption, Ling Qingyu was not feeling well either. But every time Ling Qingyu recovered, he would have to use the sword, which made things difficult for her. Su Yun's heart surged with guilt. He had to make it up to her in the future. "Young master, the mystical techniques of the evil realm, did you learn them from the evil realm?" Just then, Qing suddenly asked. "Yes." Su Yun nodded his head. He hesitated for a moment, then told Qing everything that happened in the evil realm. Qing listened quietly. After a long while, she smiled. Her small hands grabbed onto Su Yun's big hands, and said gently, "Young master, no matter what you become, Qing does not care. Regardless of whether you are a human or an evil realm being, Qing will always be by your side." Qing Su Yun's heart was moved. Thinking about the hardships that the two of them had gone through for so many years, his heart could not help but sigh. But now that the two of them had left the Su family, and after being separated for so long, they felt that everything was over. "Young master, let's find a place where there is no one, avoid the disputes, and live our own lives," Qing said gently, her eyes filled with longing. For so many years, for so many nights, she had always hoped for it. "All right." Su Yun nodded his head. "But before that, I need to find the sacred sky mountain, and revive the Sword Elder." Su Yun did not dare forget the kindness that the Sword Elder had shown him. No matter what, he had to find the sacred sky mountain, and find the Limitless sword sect. Qing nodded her head obediently, although the two of them had just escaped from danger, but for some reason, Qing felt that it was the best moment of her life. "Young master, where are we going now? Are we going to find the sacred sky mountain directly?" "I do not know where the sacred sky mountain is, and blindly searching will only be a waste of time. I do not have any leads now, and can only take one step at a time. Come to think of it, we still have to be careful of the Su family and the profound sky sect. But now that I have obtained the power of the Spirit Demon Emperor, my strength has multiplied, and the profound sky sect should not be able to do anything to us." "Yes." Qing nodded her head. It was the first time she felt that her young master was so reliable. "Gotcha." Just then, a light sound came out from afar. "Someone is coming." Su Yun's expression tensed up. Qing's two snow-white delicate ears perked up, and after listening for a moment, she said, "There is a 9th stage Spirit Soul Cultivator, and the rest are all Spirit Soul Cultivators with different levels. There are a total of 5 of them." Hearing that, Su Yun was secretly surprised. "Qing, you can actually hear their cultivation level?" "This is a consummate technique that I learned from the Snow Jade Palace. I can sense the patterns of the opponent's profound spirit chi through the undulations of their voices, and from there, analyze and judge." Qing's face flushed red and said, "In front of young master's methods, these are just insignificant tricks. I have to rely on treasures, I don't have much of my own abilities." Su Yun laughed, then said, "Then Qing, how do you plan to deal with your Snow Jade Palace?" "I will write a letter, and get someone to send it back to the sect, and inform the mistress." Qing sighed. "To avoid the pursuit of the profound sky sect, I hid in the Snow Jade Palace, and became the disciple of the mistress. She saw that my talent was exceptional, and planned to use me, and groom me well, so that she could form a marriage alliance with the Ink Blade Pavilion. I knew about it, but did not expose her, and only wanted to leave after the Mountain River list ended. Now that the Mountain River list has ended, and I have obtained the top 100 rankings for the Snow Jade Palace, I have not let her down. Hearing Ching Er's words, Su Yun was enraged. The mistress of the Snow Jade Palace actually wants to marry you to someone else? How can that be? If you want to marry, you should marry me. He was originally a steady man, but in front of Ching Er, he did not hold back his words, and when he said that, Ching Er's face immediately turned red, she immediately lowered her head, and her actions became awkward. Su Yun did not feel that it was shameless at all. But it was not the time to chat, because the footsteps were heading their way. The two of them sensed the presence of the 5 people, and the 5 of them naturally sensed them as well. It was a quiet forest. How could there be so many spirit soul realm experts here? If it was Cheen Creek, it would still make sense. The matter of the Mountain River list and the spirit demon beings had caused an uproar in the Sky Martial continent, and countless experts had gathered at Cheen Creek. A few of the peak experts who were in closed-door cultivation all rushed over, and in that moment, the spirit star realm was no longer a godly realm. The two of them stood up and looked towards the end of the forest, to see the 5 people walking quickly towards them. Ching Er, do you know where we are? Su Yun asked. Young master has been flying for about half an hour, Ching Er calculated. This should be the Mongol West region. Ching Er said. Mongol West is already very far from Cheen Creek. Su Yun muttered. Just then, the 5 of them were already close. The 2 of them looked over, and saw that it was a small team, 3 males and 2 females. The males looked rather ordinary. One of them was extremely skinny, dressed in green robes, looking unremarkable, but no one could tell that he was actually the strongest existence amongst the 5, a 9th stage spirit soul realm cultivator. The other 2 males were rather sturdy. The one with a crew cut was a 4th stage spirit soul realm cultivator, and the other with a small braid was a 5th stage spirit soul realm cultivator. The 2 females were weaker, being at the 3rd stage of the spirit soul realm. One of them was dressed plainly and looked to be older, about 30 to 40 years old. The other lady was extremely enchanting. Her figure was perfect and flawless, with perky buttocks and waist, a pair of snowballs wrapped tightly in her purple robes, as though they were about to come out, and her charming eyes were like electricity, seducing and stealing people's souls, especially the flaunting of her red lips, causing all the men to mistakenly think that the lady had feelings for them. Out of the 3 males, other than the 9th stage spirit soul realm cultivator, the rest of their gazes were all on the lady. Yo! I thought it was a fierce beast. I never thought that there would be a pair of little lovers here. TSK, you guys actually chose to eat in the Black Prison Forest, that sure is interesting. The seductive lady giggled and said. When she saw Su Yun, her eyes immediately lit up. She took a few steps closer and laughed. This little brother is really handsome. Where are you from? Is there a sect? Who are you guys? Ching Er asked. When she opened her mouth, everyone turned to look at Ching Er. Seeing her bright eyes and white teeth, she was extremely beautiful. Everyone could not help but sigh in their hearts. What a beauty! Although the seductive lady was also beautiful, but in terms of temperament, she could not compare to Ching. However, she wasn't annoyed. Instead, she was still smiling. We are from different sects. Why are the 2 of you here? Just then, the 9th stage spirit soul realm expert spoke. A look of caution flashed past his eyes, as though he was worried about something. Chapter 3:18. Come from different sects? Since they are from different sects, why are they gathered together? Su Yun stood up and secretly sized them up, then said, The 2 of us are from the Snow Jade Palace. I am called Wu Yun, she is called Wu Ching Er. We are here today under Master's orders to gather some materials that can only be found here. Gather materials? Snow Jade Palace? The man's eyes were filled with a trace of disbelief, but Ching took out a sparkling and translucent badge and showed it to everyone. The simple-dressed middle-aged lady in the group saw it and nodded her head. That's right, this is indeed the Snow Jade Palace's disciple badge, I recognize it. But since when did the Snow Jade Palace start to recruit male disciples? The 9th stage Spirit Soul Realm expert asked curiously. It started this year. Su Yun blabbered. Come to think of it, everyone, why are all of you here in Black Prison Forest? And all of you are from different sects? Why would people from different sects be gathered together? His question hit the nail on the head. Ching was initially amused by Su Yun's blabbering, but upon hearing his question, Ching face immediately became serious. The 9th stage Spirit Soul Realm cultivator had accidentally said something that he should not have said. For a few sects to gather together for no reason, and to come to Black Prison Forest, there must be a reason. Although it had nothing to do with the two of them, but to meet them, they had to be cautious. The 9th stage Spirit Soul Realm cultivator frowned. He could not see through Su Yun's cultivation, but he could roughly estimate Ching strength. From her spirit chi, she should be in the 6th or 7th stage of the Spirit Soul Realm. Compared to the others, Ching was naturally stronger, but to fight against him, she was still lacking. Just then, the enchanting lady suddenly laughed and stood up. Ayaya, everyone, don't be so nervous, as the saying goes, fate brings us together, for everyone to be able to meet here, isn't that fate? If fate brings us together, then we can be friends. Come, the two of you, let me introduce to you. The old-fashioned man was called Dejun. Don't look at his clothes. He was an expert of the 9th stage of the Spirit Soul Realm. And the one with the braids is called Zhang Hu, the one over there is Li Fuzai, and this is Lu Jie. You can call her big sister Lu. As for me, I am called Song Hong Chong. Just like what Master Dejun said, we are indeed from different sects, and as for the reason why we are here, to be honest, we are here to search for treasures. Treasure hunt. Su Yun's face pretended to be surprised, but his gaze was secretly observing the expressions of the others. Song Hong Chong had spoken openly, causing everyone to be unhappy. All of their expressions were somewhat unhappy, and from that, it seemed that Song Hong Chong was speaking the truth. Young master, we shouldn't get involved in their treasure hunt. Ching tugged on the corner of Su Yun's shirt and said softly. She was not a greedy person. To her, treasures were just fleeting clouds. She hoped to be together with Su Yun peacefully. Su Yun nodded his head. He agreed with Ching thoughts, and was about to speak. But just then, Song Hong Chong spoke again. Big brother Wu Yun, you might not know, but the treasure deposit this time is the treasure deposit left behind by the ancestor of the Profound Sky sect. Do you know about the Profound Sky sect? They are one of the top great sects in the continent, and it is said that the treasure deposit contains countless of powerful treasures and pills of the Profound Sky sect, and even the absolute divine techniques that only the sect leader of the Profound Sky sect can learn. If we are able to find the treasure deposit, we will truly not have to worry about food or clothing for the rest of our lives. Currently, I am the only one who knows where the treasure deposit is. However, it is impossible for me to find the treasure deposit by myself. Thus, I invited Lord Dejun, Lord Zhang Hu, Lord Li Fuzai, and Big Sister Lu. I did not know them in the past, and only met them because of this matter. However, we are still lacking 2 people. If the 2 of you are willing, can you join us and search for the treasure deposit together? Hearing that, Su Yun's astonished face was immediately replaced by shock. What did you say? The Profound Sky sect's treasure deposit? Yes. Where did you get the news about the treasure deposit? Ching who was by the side, questioned. Big Sister Ching you don't have to ask about this. It can be considered a little secret of mine. Song Hong Chong laughed. Her strength could not compare to Ching although she was older, but she still called her big sister. But I can tell everyone, regarding the treasure deposit, it is definitely true. Not only that, I also know that the treasure deposit hides a huge plan regarding the profound sky sect, but as for what the plan is, I do not know. Who cares about the plan? The most important thing for us is to take the treasures. What do we spirit cultivators lack the most? Isn't it just good treasures and pills? After obtaining the treasure deposit, we will split it evenly, and then we will go our separate ways. Don't be so long-winded. If you guys are not willing, then forget it. Since we have enough people, it doesn't matter if you guys are more or less. Zhang Hu shouted with a hoarse voice. He was somewhat impatient, as though he was unhappy with Song Hongchang's actions of inviting the two of them to join their group. The more people there were, the more they could get. Big brother Zhang Hu, you can't say it like that. According to the information I have on the treasure deposit, we need 2 more people to join. If not with just us, we will not have enough people. Your father, can handle 2. This big sister Qing has a cultivation above the 6th stage of the spirit soul realm. Song Hongchang laughed. Zhang Hu. With her current cultivation, it was not strange for her to have treasures that could detect her cultivation. Outside, he had to be careful. If he were to meet someone who was pretending to be a pig to eat a tiger, he would not even know how he died. But come to think of it, big brother Wu Yun, what is your cultivation? Why can't we see through your cultivation? Song Hongchang laughed. My cultivation is not high, and I am wearing a shielding treasure, so you guys can't see through it. Su Yun said casually. That's true, when you are outside, you have to be so mysterious. If others can't see through your cultivation, they won't dare to do anything to you, right? Song Hongchang laughed, expressing her understanding. But the others looked at him with disdain, because those who wore shielding treasures were mostly weak people, and experts disdained to do such things. After all, a strong cultivation could intimidate others, and win their respect. Song Hongchang blinked her snow-white eyes at Su Yun and asked, Then, the 2 of you, are you interested in joining us, to search for the profound sky sect's treasure deposit? Hearing that, Su Yun lowered his head and started to think. Young master. Seeing that Su Yun did not directly reject her, Qing did not understand and asked softly, Could it be that you are interested in the treasure deposit? Who wouldn't like treasures? But Qing you said it before, you are not willing to get involved in this mess. I wanted to reject, but this woman said that it is the profound sky sect's treasure deposit, and that the treasure deposit even hides a huge plan regarding the profound sky sect, so I am interested. Su Yun took a deep breath and said, Qing do you still remember that the Su family wanted to marry you off to the profound sky sect's patriarch's son, Tianxi? I feel that it is not as simple as a marriage. If the Su family is truly prepared to marry you off to Tianxi, why would they painstakingly groom you? Could it be that they want to match each other? With the Su family's strength, even if they groom the patriarch's daughter, it is impossible for her to match with the patriarch's son, so I feel that there must be some other goal here. The profound sky sect is still not willing to let us go. I want to see if I can find any clues from the treasure deposit, especially the plan that Song Hongchang mentioned. Maybe it has something to do with this. If we can find some clues, it will be easier to deal with the profound sky sect in the future, right? Hearing that, Qing nodded her head. Young master is right, although we can hide, but we can only hide for a while. We cannot hide forever. The matter with the profound sky sect will be resolved sooner or later. Since it is so, we will join them. Yes. Hearing Qing words, Su Yun did not think anymore and said, Since everyone is so passionate about inviting us, then we will stay in Black Prison Forest for a while. That's great. Everyone is here. Song Hongchang's face revealed a look of joy. But come to think of it, Miss Song, with such a good thing, why don't you find your friends and family to help? And find strangers to help? Could it be that you would rather let strangers benefit than give benefits to your friends and family? Just then, Su Yun asked again. That is a good question. Song Hongchang obviously knew that Su Yun would ask that. She revealed an intoxicating smile and said, Originally, I wanted to ask my friends and family for help, but after thinking about it, I have decided to find strangers, because I do not want to see my friends and family betray me." She stopped there. But everyone around understood what she meant. In front of a huge fortune, a person's heart would change. She did not wish to see the people she cared about betray her for the sake of wealth, so to prevent such a thing from happening, she would rather find people she had never met before. Her considerations were good, but in truth, her reasoning was a little forced. "But I do like strangers who benefit from me." Song Hong Chang suddenly stuck out her snow-white twin peaks. She looked at Su Yun coquettishly, and giggled. Seeing that, Ching immediately grabbed onto Su Yun's arm, and looked at Song Hong Chang as though she was facing a great enemy. Her expression caused Song Hong Chang to giggle. After deciding to join the small group, they set off again. What was surprising was that although the person who provided the information was Song Hong Chang, the leader of the small group was De Zhen, who had the highest cultivation. De Zhen had always been indifferent, and would always consider the opinions of the group before making any decisions. But after interacting with them for a period of time, Su Yun realized that Zhang Hu and Li Fu Zai had a strange hostility towards him, which made him puzzled. "I don't think I provoked them, right?" Black Prison Forest is the biggest forest in the Mongol West region, and it is said that there are 2 gigantic dragon forest regions inside the forest, and both regions produce dragon forest trees, which are rare materials. If we can find the dragon forest region, we can earn a fortune. But compared to the treasures, the dragon forest region is not worth mentioning. According to the information I received, the profound sky sex treasures are inside one of the dragon forest region. Song Hong Chang said. Everyone nodded their heads. Lu Jie had a unique mystical technique that allowed her to easily discern directions in the barren forest. After finding the correct direction, she immediately set off with the rest. Black Prison Forest was the biggest forest in the Mongol West region and was also the most dangerous forest. Fierce beasts roamed the place, and although everyone had flying techniques, to avoid attracting the fierce beasts, they chose to walk. After walking for an unknown period of time, whoosh, a strange wind blew past their ears. Wind in the forest? Everyone was confused and felt that it was extremely strange. But looking at the surrounding tall and sturdy trees, there was an inexplicable wave of pale white mist rising up. "There's a situation. Young master, be careful." Ching who had been following behind Su Yun, suddenly had a change in expression. She turned and blocked Su Yun's path, her jade eyes looking around cautiously. Seeing that, Su Yun laughed involuntarily. Chapter 319. The gigantic statue stood tall in the plaza. Countless people knelt in front of the statue. They lowered their heads piously, and bowed respectfully to the back of the deity statue in front of them. No one dared to be impudent, no one dared to make a ruckus, even their breathing was extremely cautious and careful. An old man with a walking stick walked over, and when he reached the front, he immediately knelt down and kowtowed with both his hands on the ground. "What's the matter?" The person at the top did not turn around. Reporting to the Lord, Su Yun and Qing appeared in Qin Creek. The spirit demon emperor brought people to invade Qin Creek, and Su Yun fought with them, and defeated the spirit demon emperor. The old man said respectfully. "I've known about this for a long time." The man said indifferently, "But I never thought that Su Yun would actually have the strength to fight against the spirit demon emperor. Seems like he had many fortuitous encounters." This time, Su Yun even killed Lei Tiandong and Li Muqing, and crippled Sun Jimiao. These are all the elites of my sect, especially Li Muqing, in the entire Sky Martial continent, in the hands of the younger generation. He is at least in the top 50, but when the Mountain River List competition started, he was ruthlessly killed by Su Yun. A loss is a loss, and since they lost, they are useless. In my eyes, the 3 of them are already trash and are useless. So be it if they die. The man interrupted the old man and said indifferently. Hearing that, the old man immediately kept quiet. Now, do you know where Su Yun is? Su Yun defeated the Spirit Demon Emperor, and immediately left Qin Creek. I do not know where he is now, but this subordinate has already sent the experts of my sect to investigate. The old man said. The time to carry out the plan is getting closer and closer. We are pressed for time, and will not be able to find someone to replace Qing in such a short period of time. After so long, you are still unable to capture the puny Qing How disappointed am I? The man's voice revealed a tinge of anger. I do not care what methods you use, you must quickly capture Qing If you are unable to find her, you will bring your heads to me. Yes, Lord. Other than that, give the Su family a final ultimatum. If we are unable to find Qing in time, then there is no need for the Su family to exist anymore. Yes. The old man cupped his fists respectfully, then bowed and carefully left the square. A light breeze was still blowing in the square, and a strange aura gradually filled the air. In the black prison forest, Su Yun frowned and looked around. The surrounding forest was extremely quiet. Because the forest was extremely dense, the lighting was dim. Everyone was a spirit soul disciple, and their vision was not weak, so they were not affected. However, why would there suddenly be so much white fog floating in the forest for no reason? Is this fog poisonous? Suddenly, Zhang Hu shouted in a coarse voice. Hearing that, Li Fuzai and Lu Jie immediately tensed up and used their profound spirit qi to isolate themselves. Don't worry, this mist is not poisonous, Su Yun said. He was quite knowledgeable about medicine, so he said this because he couldn't sense any poisonous elements in the fog. TSK. Do you think it's not poisonous just because you say it's not poisonous? Do you think you're a spirit doctor? Zhang Hu said with a look of disdain. Su Yun could not be bothered to argue with him. Qing who was at the side, was unhappy. She said coldly, Don't tell me you have to be a spirit doctor to determine if this mist is poisonous or not. Then are you a spirit doctor? What right do you have to say that this mist is poisonous? This. Zhang Hu was speechless, he could not refute her. He was slightly annoyed, but Qing cultivation was not ordinary, and he could not afford to offend her, so he could only keep his mouth shut. Su. Just then, a strange sound came out from all around. Everyone tensed up and immediately looked towards the source of the sound, but the mist was getting thicker and thicker, their vision was obstructed, and they could not see anything. Ah! Just then, a miserable shriek came out from the mist. Everyone immediately felt their hair stand, and perspired in cold sweat. What was that? Ignore that sound. Everyone gather together. Do not split up, move forward slowly, and pass through the mist. De Zhen said anxiously. Everyone responded and immediately gathered together. The black prison forest was extremely huge, and was famous for being a dangerous place. No one knew what kind of monsters they would meet, so gathering together was the best choice. But at this moment there was a sudden rush of footsteps in the thick fog, followed by a man and a woman covered in blood stumbling over and falling in front of everyone. Save us, masters, please save us. One of the men's voice was weak and hoarse. He extended out his bloodied hands and grabbed onto Zhang Hu's clothes. His expression was filled with pain and despair. What's going on? Zhang Hu pulled back his clothes and asked the man loudly. The man turned around and pointed at the thick fog with a trembling hand. Deep inside the mist, a large number of figures appeared, but they were all fierce beasts. Everyone be careful, there are fierce beasts. Lu Jie shouted. So you guys have met with fierce beasts. Zhang Hu was enlightened, he looked at the three of them and shook his head. Just a bunch of second-stage spirit-soul cultivators, I say, you guys are truly daring, with such cultivation, you guys dare to come to such a place. With that, Zhang Hu was not agile, he immediately took action, and started fighting with the fierce beasts that were approaching. Zhang Hu, come back! De Zhen shouted anxiously. Master De Zhen, don't worry, These guys are only second or third stage spirit soul cultivators, in front of my fifth stage strength. They are nothing. Let me practice a little. Zhang Hu laughed out loud. He brandished out a pair of big axes, waving them around crazily. The axes slashed crazily, wreaking havoc in all directions, and in a short while all the fierce beasts were killed by Zhang Hu. It had to be said that Zhang Hu was truly powerful. We're saved. Seeing that, the three of them heaved a sigh of relief. The three of them stood up and bowed respectfully to everyone. The man said gratefully, "Thank you everyone for saving my life, I am eternally grateful." Black Prison Forest is after all a famous dangerous place. Although the few of you are at the second stage of the spirit soul realm, it is still difficult for you to survive in this place. Quickly leave. De Zhen said, his eyes unconsciously glancing at the corpses of the fierce beasts. Why yes, we will leave this place now. The man immediately said. He took out a treasure box from his clothes and handed it over to De Zhen with both hands. This is a small token of my appreciation. I hope that everyone will accept it. What is this? De Zhen frowned as he looked at the box, but did not accept it. Oh, this is a treasure that we obtained coincidentally in Black Prison Forest. Everyone has saved our lives. We are unable to repay you. This is just a small token. I hope that you will accept it. Li Fuzai and Lu Jie's eyes lit up. Song Hongchang did not make a sound. As for De Zhen, he maintained his vigilant attitude. He shook his head and said, I think it's fine. You guys have gone through so much hardship to obtain these things. How can you give them to us? Saving people is just a small matter. Keep it for yourselves, alright, let's part ways here. But, just as De Zhen finished speaking, Zhang Hu, who was by the side, extended his hand out and took the box. You idiot, are you blind? They did not even make a move, only I did, alright? If you have something good, you should give it to me. Not to them. Damn it, do you even know how to behave? Zhang Hu scolded the man, then stared at De Zhen, and was about to open the box. Zhang Hu, what are you doing? Don't open the box. De Zhen said anxiously. Why can't I open the box? Zhang Hu snorted. They are willing to give it, why can't you guys accept it? With that, Zhang Hu ignored De Zhen and directly opened the box, intending to see what was inside. But the moment the box was opened, a bang sound was heard, the box exploded, and a large number of terrifying black vine thorns shot out from inside, straight towards the people around them. Zhang Hu was caught off guard, and was instantly pierced by the black vine thorns. The poison on the black vine thorns immediately diffused out, causing his eyes to turn black. He fainted and fell to the ground. Li Fuzai and Lu Jie, who were closer to Zhang, who were not in a good state either, they were pierced by a few thorns, and received varying degrees of injuries. Su Yun pulled Qing and stood by the side, and when the box exploded, Qing acutely sensed it, and took the initiative to use her profound spirit qi to block it. Looking at De Zhen, he was not injured, as though he had been guarding against the box from the start, or rather, the person who gave the box to him. Ha 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 ha. Is there truly such a stupid person? He actually fell for such a small trick. What a joke, ha 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 ha. A mournful laughter came out from the man's mouth, but the three of their bodies started to distort, and in the next moment, they transformed into three strange purple existences. All of them had a single horn on their head, their bodies were coiled by vines and looked like demons. But De Zhen had already recognized what they were. Wandering Palia beasts? De Zhen exclaimed. I never thought that there would be people who recognize us, but no matter, since all of you will die here today, and become our food. The wandering Palia beasts stuck out their scythe-like sharp tongue and licked their long and narrow lips, and laughed sinisterly. The wandering Palia beasts that are proficient in illusion techniques and can easily analyze their prey's state of mind. I never thought that I would meet them here. Su Yun was surprised. He had seen such beasts in ancient books before, but he never thought that he would meet one today. But you are too naive. Do you think that with just the three of you, you can handle us? You are just second-stage spirit-soul realm trash. Even if I am ambushed by you, I can easily get rid of all of you." Li Fuzai clenched his teeth and roared in anger. "With just the three of us, of course we can't handle you, but you seem to be mistaken. Firstly, we are not third-stage spirit-soul realm existences, and secondly, we are not just the three of us." With that said, all of the beasts that were chasing after the three wandering Palea beasts and were killed by Zhang, who all stood up, their bodies started to sway, and in a moment, the wounds on their bodies quickly disappeared, and transformed into even stronger and more robust wandering Palea beasts. A total of 13 of them. Su Yun secretly activated the heavenly scale divine eye to check, and with just one look, he was stunned. They are all fifth-stage spirit-soul realm existences. One of them is even at the 7th stage of the spirit-soul realm. This is troublesome. Lu Jie laughed bitterly. Chapter 320. I'm afraid that the moment we entered this region, we were already targeted by these wandering Palea beasts. De Zhen's eyes congealed and said, "I remember now, the dense fog was actually the chi released by the wandering Palea beasts when they unleashed their illusion techniques, so they were always by our side. Truly a bunch of long-winded people." The 7th stage spirit-soul realm wandering Palea beast snorted and waved his hand. "Just obediently submit, all of you are food filled with profound spirit force." With that, the surrounding wandering Palea beasts all rushed forward. Seeing that, Qing immediately unsheathed her sword, but was grabbed by Su Yun. She was startled. She turned to look, only to see Su Yun gently shaking his head. "You don't have to do anything, someone will take care of it." "Someone will?" Qing was startled. Before she could say anything, De Zhen had already made his move. "Humph, a group of 5th stage spirit-soul realm existences, what is there to be afraid of? Even if you are a 7th stage spirit-soul realm cultivator, in front of me, you are just a group of people who sell their heads. Kill you? That's no different from killing an ant." De Zhen said coldly. With that said, he immediately moving like lightning, he shot past the wandering Palea beasts. A large amount of destructive and dense profound spirit force pervaded out, as though they had materialized. Following De Zhen's movements, they struck onto the wandering Palea beasts' bodies. Plop, 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 plop. Clear and crisp sounds came out. All of the wandering Palea beasts' bodies were struck with profound spirit chi. They seemed to be extremely sticky, sticking onto their bodies. They could not be shaken off. After De Zhen released 26 palm strikes, he landed in the middle of the wandering Palea beasts, and moved his finger. Bang! 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 All of the wandering Palea beasts' bodies immediately exploded. The dense destructive chi was like a sickle cutting through their bodies. Even the 7th stage spirit-soul realm cultivator was not feeling well. His entire body was riddled with holes, and even one of his arms was blown off. The wandering Palea beast cried out in pain. In the end, beasts are still beasts. You only see that their cultivation is low, and you can easily defeat them. So you think that I am a 4th or 5th stage spirit-soul realm cultivator, but you are wrong. I am a 9th stage spirit-soul realm cultivator. How could you contend against it? Even if you plotted against me, killing you is as easy as flipping my hand," De Zhen said coldly. He then kicked out towards the wandering Palea beast's head. The wandering Palea beast didn't even have time to defend before its head exploded and it died. It was an overwhelming suppression. The difference of 4 levels of cultivation was just too great. Qing was startled. She then understood why Su Yun did not want her to take action. It was because De Zhen could handle everything himself. After dealing with the lost Palea beast, De Zhen immediately asked everyone, "Is everyone all right? It's nothing serious." Li Fuzai crawled up and pulled out the poisonous stingers from his body. "I didn't expect these wandering primordial beasts to be as cunning as the rumors say. Fortunately, Lord De Zhen is here. Otherwise, the consequences would be unimaginable." Lu Jie sighed. "But although we are fine, Zhang Hu might have some problems. Song Hong Chang said. Hearing that, everyone turned to look at Zhang Hu, who was lying on the ground, only to see that he was extremely terrifying. His body was covered with sharp thorns, one after another. The black vines pierced into his flesh, making him look extremely terrifying, causing everyone's hairs to stand. Dezhen walked over and supported Zhang Hu up. Using a bit of profound spirit force, he pulled out one of the thorns and inspected it carefully. The poison of these thorns is not strong, but there are too many of them in Zhang Hu's body. Even if one is not strong, with so many of them, I am afraid that it will be too much. We need to quickly detoxify the poison, otherwise it will be fatal, Dezhen said. Zhang Hu was in so much pain that he was about to faint. But Song Hongchang also walked over and picked up the thorn that Dezhen had plucked out. She looked at it carefully, and then revealed a look of gratification. The poison on this thorn seems to be green mist poison. It is congealed from the mist qi of plants, and I happen to know how to treat this poison. Really? Dezhen asked. Song Hongchang revealed a bewitching smile. Of course, Big Brother Dezhen, in this treasure hunt, everyone's position is very important. If Zhang Hu falls here, it will be a loss for us. Although Black Prison Forest is huge, to find another person to replace Big Brother Zhang Hu is not easy. Don't worry, I will treat Big Brother Zhang Hu. That's good. Dezhen nodded his head. But come to think of it, I cannot guarantee that I will be able to treat Big Brother Zhang Hu, since I am not a spirit doctor. Song Hongchang said. Just do your best, Sister Hongchang. Just then, Zhang Hu spoke out with a weak voice. Hearing that, Song Hongchang nodded her head. Li Fuzai and the rest did not eat much of the poisonous thorns, and could easily use their profound spirit qi to remove them. Su Yun looked at Song Hongchang and shook his head. The sky seems to have darkened, although it does not affect everyone's vision in the dark, but at night, some of the stronger fierce beasts in Black Prison Forest will come out of their nests to hunt for food. Everyone, why don't we set up a barrier enchantment here, and temporarily stay for the night? Song Hongchang looked around, then spoke to everyone. Coincidentally, I also need time to treat Big Brother Zhang Hu. All right. Dezhen did not object, and immediately agreed. Does anyone have any objections? No. Everyone agreed unanimously, and began to take out materials to set up a barrier enchantment. The enchantment completely isolated spirit qi and vision, and from the outside, it looked like a small tent, allowing people to rest peacefully inside, protecting everyone's privacy. If anyone were to barge into the enchantment, it would immediately alert the people inside the enchantment. Su Yun was prepared to draw 2 enchantments, but Qing thought that he was treating her as an outsider, and insisted on staying in the same enchantment with Su Yun. Su Yun was happy in the end. She was still his servant, and should stay with him. Currently, only Li Fuzai, Lu Jie and Zhang who were injured by the poison thorns, the rest were either standing far away or dodging in time. Inside the barrier enchantment, Qing sat quietly, her bright eyes quietly looking at Su Yun, who was resting with his eyes closed. You've already stared for the time it takes for an incense stick to burn. Su Yun opened his eyes and said helplessly. Qing face flushed red. She immediately lowered her head, but her mouth curved into a smile. What are you laughing at? Young Master said I stared at Young Master for the time it takes for an incense stick to burn. Didn't Young Master stare at Qing for the time it takes for an incense stick to burn? If not, how would you know that I was staring at you? Young Master, actually this is good. Qing smiled. I don't have the tough training in the Su family, I don't have the worry in the Snow Jade Palace, and now I can be with Young Master without any worries. Qing feels very satisfied. Silly girl, your days in the future will only get better, don't think too much. Su Yun caressed Qing's head. Just then, his senses suddenly moved. His nose picked up a faintly discernible spirit qi. It was similar to spirit demon qi, but it was different and mixed with a trace of ruthlessness. He frowned and closed his eyes, following the strange spirit qi. He was surprised to realize that the spirit qi actually came from Song Hong Chang's enchantment. Isn't Song Hong Chang only at the third stage of the spirit soul realm? But this spirit qi, I'm afraid only in existence at the 8th stage of the spirit soul realm and above can release it. What is going on? And it's so ruthless and so secretive. If not for Su Yun being at the 3rd stage of the spirit star realm, he would not have been able to sense the concealed spirit qi. Young master, what's wrong? Qing asked curiously. Su Yun thought about it and felt that there was nothing to hide, so he told Qing everything. So it's like that, young master, you're strong, this barrier enchantment is not able to completely block your senses. Qing Er's cute little head thought for a moment, then suddenly said, since it's like that, young master, why don't we take a look at Song Hong Chang's situation? Look, how? Although my treasure, the heavenly scale divine eye, can see through cultivation, it is not able to see through things. Su Yun said. Speaking of which, the Sky Martial Continent did not have any treasures that could see through things, or rather, no one would be so bored to create such a treasure. Young master, don't worry, Qing learned a secret technique in the Snow Jade Palace, and can easily detect any movement within a 5 kilometers radius. With that, Qing sat down cross-legged, her hands were like lotus flowers, gently swaying, her slender fingers were extremely exquisite, causing people to feel an itch in their hearts, wanting to grab them and play with them. Qing fingers started to emit waves of ice mist, her pink lips moved, and words after words of chants came out, followed by a delicate shout. Bind. Kacha kacha kacha. The ice mist quickly congealed together, transforming into a sparkling and translucent ice mirror. Qing extended her finger out and drew a few symbols on the mirror, and in that moment, a scene appeared from the mirror. It was the scene of Song Hong Chang and Zhang Hu in the enchantment barrier. Su Yun's eyes were wide open as he looked at the scene in the mirror. At the moment, all the poisonous thorns on Zhang Hu's body had been pulled out, and he was lying on a small array formation that Song Hong Chang was carving. Although Zhang Hu was in pain, his eyes that looked at Song Hong Chang were filled with endless passion. Sister Hong Chang, how do you plan to save me? Zhang Hu, who was covered in black holes, asked weakly. Big brother Zhang Hu, don't be anxious, we are alone now, if you say such words, I will be embarrassed. Song Hong Chang glanced at Zhang Hu, her voice filled with temptation. That gaze, that attitude and voice, even a man would not be able to take it. Zhang Hu did not know where he got the strength from, but he actually sat up, enduring the pain. He hugged Song Hong Chang. Sister Hong Chang, I can't take it anymore, quickly heal me, big brother is in so much pain. Song Hong Chang squirmed in Zhang Hu's embrace and said, Big brother Zhang, you're so bad. Quickly lie down, don't pull on your wounds, at that time, big brother's body will be in pain, but little sister's heart will be hurt. Song Hong Chang's mouth seemed to be smeared with honey, causing Zhang Hu's heart to feel sweet, even if his body was in pain. He did not care, of course he immediately did as the beauty said, and obediently lied down. Chapter 321. Qing Er's ice mirror was not only able to transmit images, it could even vaguely hear conversations. This uses the profound spirit force to simulate the vibrations in the air to capture the images and sounds. Every movement and speech of a person can cause the air to vibrate. This mystical technique is considered a high-grade mystical technique in the Snow Jade Palace, and is the best for surveillance, but it's a pity that Qing is not strong, and can only monitor the movements of people within a 5 kilometers radius. Qing said as she casted her technique. It's already very powerful. Su Yun retracted his shocked expression and muttered. The two of them stared intently at the ice mirror. But at that moment, Zhang Hu was actually touching Song Hong Chang's body all over. Song Hong Chang's eyes were flirtatious, looking as though she was enjoying it. No one had thought that the so-called treatment would be so erotic. This woman is too shameless. Previously, when I saw her words and actions, I knew that she was not a proper woman, but I never thought that she would be so casual. Ching Er's face was red as she muttered to herself. She moved her head away, but her black eyes were still staring at the ice mirror. Su Yun chuckled and continued to watch. Big brother Zhang, you're so bad, you're obviously so heavily injured, but you're still full of naughty thoughts. You only know how to bully me. Song Hong Chang's voice was extremely seductive, as though it was laced with electricity. Even though it was transmitted through the ice mirror, it still caused Su Yun's entire body to go numb. Zhang, who seemed to have taken some medicine to relieve the pain, his complexion had recovered a lot, adding Song Hong Chang's good medicine. He immediately became 100 times more spirited, and was about to flip over and press Song Hong Chang down, and do it with her. It had to be said that beauties were like poison, but also good medicine. The previously weak and miserable Zhang, who was no longer there. You little hussy, you're still saying no now? Didn't you suggest to treat your big brother's injuries previously? You obviously said no, but your body is so honest. Today, your big brother will let you have a good time. After saying that, Zhang Hu quickly took off his clothes and was about to get on her. But Song Hong Chang was not anxious. She licked the wounds on Zhang Hu's body and smiled. I know that big brother Zhang likes this little sister. When we walk together, you always sneak peeks at me. Do you think I don't know? Who asked you to look so alluring? Not to mention me, even Li Fuzai and Dezhen are interested in you. Even that newly joined gigolo Wu Yun might be interested in you. But in the end, they won't be able to get you because you're my woman. Zhang Hu laughed heartily. After he said that, Ching Er looked at Su Yun weirdly. Su Yun sweated profusely. Ching Er, my eyesight should not be that bad, right? You're countless times more beautiful than her. If I have any feelings, it's for you. Hearing that, Ching Er's face turned red again. She lowered her head and said, Actually, Ching Er will not ask what kind of woman young master is looking for. In the ice mirror. All right, sister, every minute of the night is worth 1,000 gold. Your big brother, am still feeling uncomfortable. Don't waste any more time. Zhang, who was already extremely impatient, and did not even have the mood to chat. Seeing that, Song Hong Chang's eyes flashed with a look of complacency, but there was an unfathomable luster in her eyes. It was strange. She extended out her slender fingers and placed it on Zhang Hu's mouth, gesturing for him to wait. Then, she pointed to a fluorescent array formation at the side and laughed. Big brother Zhang, go lie down on that array formation first. What array formation is that? Zhang Hu asked curiously. Naturally, it's a fun array formation. Song Hong Chang licked her lips and said seductively. Big brother Zhang's entire body is covered in injuries. This little sister's heart hurts just by looking at it. How can I let big brother Zhang continue to suffer? That array formation is a dual cultivation array that this little sister has learnt. In a while, we will go to the Mount Wu on that array formation, and with the dual cultivation technique, we can obtain the joy of the heavenly Tao, and also heal big brother Zhang's injuries. It's the best of both worlds, isn't that a good thing? Hearing that, Zhang Hu's eyes immediately turned red, his breathing became hurried, his nose releasing a blazing hot breath. He nodded his head and said, Good. Good. Little sister, you're too thoughtful. I'll lie down now. With that, he anxiously climbed onto the array formation and laid down quietly. Seeing that, Song Hong Chang's mouth revealed a light smile. She then walked to the side of the array formation and extended her hand out, gently caressing Zhang Hu's face that was full of holes, and then muttered a few chants, activating the array formation. Immediately, the small array formation released a pink luster, and a strange spirit chi floated out. Zhang Hu did not think much of it. He looked at Song Hong Chang with a passionate gaze, and immediately said, Little sister, come quickly. Big brother has been waiting for so long. This little sister will come now. Song Hong Chang laughed, then gently took off her clothes, Taking off her undergarments, revealing her naked body, she immediately entered the array formation and squeezed into Zhang Hu's embrace. Zhang Hu was completely intoxicated. He hugged Song Hong Chang and continued to caress her. "Young master, don't look." Qing who was still in the midst of activating the array, saw the alluring scene, and immediately removed the ice mirror, her face flushed red as she spoke. Seeing that, Su Yun, who was in a trance, immediately awoke, and spoke to Qing unhappily. "Qing what are you doing?" "I, young master, want to understand the relationship between Song Hong Chang and Zhang Hu, and I'm almost done. Why did you remove the mystical technique? Quick, follow up, quickly." "No." Qing was determined. "They are doing something improper, young master, don't look, it will dirty young master's eyes." "So what?" "Qing doesn't like you looking at other women's bodies either." Seeing Qing like that, Su Yun did not say anything, but come to think of it, he never thought that Song Hong Chang and Zhang Hu would have such a relationship. He could not understand. Zhang Hu did not look like much. Why would Song Hong Chang like him? Su Yun was not jealous. He just felt that it was a little hard to understand, since Zhang Hu and Song Hong Chang did not know each other in the past. If he had to explain it, he could only say that Song Hong Chang was too open. Qing was not willing to open the ice mirror, so Su Yun did not force her, and immediately sat down to meditate. Now that he had obtained the cultivation of the Spirit Demon Emperor, Su Yun had to seize the time to temper his body, and the best way to temper his body was to train in true divine spirit qi. If it was in the past, Su Yun, who had already trained in pure divine spirit qi, would definitely not be able to train in other spirit qi, but with the monarch occult force, he could completely rely on the treasure to train in any spirit qi. The true divine spirit qi enveloped his body, gently caressing his bones and flesh. The feeling was like a young lady's hand, extremely gentle. In the middle of the night, Qing quietly opened her eyes and carefully peeked at Su Yun. Seeing that Su Yun had already entered a meditative state, she then propped up her cute chin and looked at her family's young master. Time passed very quickly, and the light in Black Prison Forest became brighter. It was daybreak. Not long after daybreak, everyone had just removed the barrier enchantment when they heard a high-pitched scream. De Zhen and the rest tensed up, and immediately ran towards the source of the scream. Su Yun and Qing had just removed the barrier enchantment. When they heard the heart-wrenching scream, they immediately rushed over. Inside the barrier enchantment, Song Hong Chang's face was pale white. She rushed out in panic. Seeing everyone rushing over, Song Hong Chang sat on the ground powerlessly, covering her face and crying, her shoulders trembling. She was sad and frightened. "What's going on?" Su Yun and Qing looked at each other, their faces filled with confusion. "Hong Chang, what's wrong?" De Zhen walked over and helped her up and asked. Song Hong Chang's eyes were red, she was crying and shouting, "Big brother De Zhen, Zhang Hu is dead. Dead." Su Yun was shocked. Weren't they still alive and well last night, and the two of them were together on Mount Wu? How did Zhang Hu die so early in the morning? De Zhen's face was gloomy. He immediately walked over and tore open the barrier enchantment, only to see a black corpse lying inside the enchantment. The corpse was only skin and bones. It was a miserable death. If not for Song Hong Chang saying that it was Zhang Hu, no one would have recognized him. How can this be? Lu Jie's eyes were wide open. She could not believe her own eyes. Li Fuzai stood at the side with his hands crossed in front of his chest, the corner of his mouth raised, revealing a hidden complacency. He was not shocked by Zhang Hu's death, but happy instead. De Zhen frowned. He walked over to the corpse and inspected it for a moment, then stood up and said, "All the flesh and blood in his body has disappeared, and only his skin and bones are left. What exactly happened?" With that, De Zhen looked at Song Hong Chang coldly. "Hong Chang, what exactly happened last night?" "I don't know either." Song Hong Chang started crying again, and said, Last night, Big Brother Zhang who came here, and I started to treat his injuries. I picked some herbs and drew an array formation, planning to force the disorienting Palea beast poison out of his body. At the start, everything went smoothly, the majority of the poison was forced out, and seeing that it was about time, I arranged for Big Brother Zhang Hu to rest. Because I had exhausted too much of my profound spirit force, I meditated at the side, and when I woke up, I realized that Big Brother Zhang Hu had become like this. Wu-ah? Lu Jie was shocked. Could it be because of the disorienting Palea beast poison? Your treatment didn't have any effect? Hearing that, Song Hongchang's face turned pale white. She was startled for a moment, then started crying even more fiercely. It's definitely because I'm useless. I did not treat Big Brother Zhang Hu, that's why he became like this. It's definitely all my fault. I caused Big Brother Zhang Hu's death. Wu, Song Hongchang was crying so miserably, the people around her could not help but feel their hearts soften. Li Fuzai took the chance to walk over and consoled her. All right, Hongchang, don't cry, it's not your fault, this is fate. Think about it, if you did not save him, wouldn't he have died even faster? So, you've already tried your best, don't be sad anymore. Song Hongchang covered her face and cried. Upon hearing Li Fuzai's consolation, she immediately pounced onto his chest and continued to cry. Li Fuzai was startled for a moment, then immediately became elated. He was extremely happy, and immediately hugged Song Hongchang and continued to console her. Young master, it's weird. Just then, Qing said softly. What's wrong? Last night, Song Hongchang had set up 2 array formations, but in the end we can't see either of them. Not only that, this new array formation seems to be different from the 2 last night. Hearing that, Su Yun immediately looked towards the barrier enchantment that was torn apart, and as expected, the array formation beneath Zhang Hu was different from the one they saw last night. Not only that, the array formation seemed to have been drawn not too long ago, and the ink and paint were still fresh. Su Yun frowned. He looked towards Song Hongchang who was still in Li Fuzai's embrace. His eyebrows twitched, as though he was thinking about something. Chapter 322. De Zhen simply buried Zhang Hu. Everyone had their own thoughts, and after a short pause, they continued on their way. Song Hongchang's mood was obviously much lower. Along the way, she buried her head in Li Fuzai's embrace and sobbed, blaming herself for Zhang Hu's death. Li Fuzai felt that his chance had come, and immediately tried to please Song Hongchang. If he wasn't coaxing Song Hongchang, he would constantly scold Zhang Hu who had died, and was just short of saying that Zhang Hu deserved to die. To think that such a thing would happen, sigh, it is truly fate that makes fools of people. Miss Hongchang seemed to like Zhang Hu a lot. Yesterday, the 2 of them were still like that. Who knew that they would be separated by life and death? Qing sighed and said with pity. Su Yun did not say anything. His gaze occasionally swept past Li Fuzai and Song Hongchang, and shook his head. Are we in the wrong place? De Zhen looked at the gradually narrowing forest and frowned. The trees here are getting denser and denser. I am afraid that there is no road ahead. We are not in the wrong place. The area is extremely hidden, and the more it looks like there is no road, the more correct it is. Song Hongchang's eyes were red, and her voice was choked with emotions. Hongchang, wait for us to find the treasure deposit. We will quickly leave this place. Don't stay in this godforsaken place, so that you won't be sad. Li Fuzai said gently. Thank you, Brother Li, you are so good to me. Song Hongchang looked at Li Fuzai with deep emotions. Li Fuzai's heart was thumping wildly. He muttered, Hongchang. Song Hongchang turned her head, her cheeks flushed red, and said softly, Whenever I meditate now, I will think about Brother Zhang who died from the poison beside me. Thinking about it makes me afraid. Brother Li, the next time I meditate, can you accompany me? Of course. Li Fuzai's voice was trembling. He looked at Song Hongchang with a passionate gaze, as though he wanted to immediately eat her up. Brother Li, you are truly a good person. Song Hongchang's small hands held onto Li Fuzai's big hands, her fingers twirling on his palm. causing Li Fuzai's heart to itch. Sigh! De Zhen activated his mystical skill, and a large ball of flame-like substance shot out from his palm, fiercely smashing onto the thorny path in front of him. A small path in the forest was cleared, and everyone slowly followed. The jungle was quiet, but the quieter it was, the more dangerous it was. No one dared to relax their vigilance. They looked in all directions and listened in all directions. Their nerves were stretched taut. Along the way they met with many fierce beasts, but the strongest of them were only at the 5th stage of the spirit-soul realm. Even if Li Fuzai, Lu Jie and the rest had a hard time dealing with them, De Zhen could easily deal with them. The 9th stage of the spirit-soul realm was not just for show. Just as they were about to reach the destination that Song Hongchang had mentioned, "Everyone be careful!" Song Hongchang shouted out from behind. Everyone immediately halted their steps and stopped moving forward. "What's wrong?" Li Fuzai asked softly. Song Hongchang's eyes carefully surveyed her surroundings, and then released a bit of profound spirit qi, which scattered out in all directions. Quang Dang! Ripples started to form, and in the air around them, a large amount of green qi appeared out of nowhere. All of the qi slowly dispersed, and gradually approached everyone. It was odorless and formless, and if not for Song Hongchang's technique, no one would have sensed its existence. "What is that?" De Zhen looked at the qi strangely. He was confused. Qing sniffed it lightly, her cute nose twitched and said, "It seems to be mixed with poison." "Poison?" Everyone jumped in fright and immediately retreated, avoiding the strange qi. "What kind of qi is that? Why have I never seen it before?" De Zhen stared at the qi and asked curiously. "This seems to be the qi released by the corpses of the fierce beasts that died in Black Prison Forest." Song Hongchang walked over and sniffed, her face becoming serious. "If we forcefully use our profound spirit qi to pass through this qi, I am afraid that it will consume a lot of profound spirit qi, and that is not beneficial for our journey later on. If we reach the region, we will encounter strong fierce beasts, and without the protection of profound spirit qi, that will be bad. The only thing we can do now is to disperse the qi and open up a path." "Disperse?" De Zhen suddenly raised his hand and released a gust of wind, striking the qi, but what surprised everyone was that the qi did not disperse. Instead, it was like a mountain, not moving an inch. "That is truly not an ordinary qi," De Zhen said. "Then, Hongchang, do you have a way to disperse the qi?" Lu Jie asked. "I do have a way, but it is impossible for me alone," Song Hongchang said with difficulty. "How many people do you need?" "One more person will do, but this person must possess Swift Wind Spirit Qi, and only when the person with Swift Wind Spirit Qi cooperates with me, will we be able to disperse the qi. Who here has Swift Wind Spirit Qi?" Me. "I have Swift Wind Spirit Qi, Hongchang." Without waiting for De Zhen and the rest to speak, Li Fuzai, who was at the side, immediately shouted out. "That's great, brotherly." Song Hongchang smiled. "Seems like I will have to trouble you this time. This is a matter for everyone, it is nothing for me to help out." Li Fuzai patted his chest and laughed. And Song Hongchang gave him a flirtatious look, then said, "Everyone, I need to set up an array, but the array's array source will be hard to find in a short period of time, so I plan to use space spirit crystals to replace it." The space spirit crystal is a type of magic treasure that can store energy from the outside world. It is very suitable to use it as the source of the formation. This formation is a bit complicated, so after you pour your energy into the space spirit crystal, you should meditate and recover. After we disperse this aura, we will be exhausted. I'm afraid we will have to rely on you for the danger later. "No problem, Hongchang, let's not delay, let's begin," Lu Jie said. "All right." Song Hongchang did not hesitate, and immediately started to form the array. After half a day's work, a neat and tidy array formation appeared. But it was not only the array formation. Song Hongchang had also set up a barrier enchantment. Everyone, I am truly sorry, because the dispelling mystical technique that I am about to use is Master's absolute technique, and usually cannot be used in front of outsiders. So, that is understandable, Hong Chang, just do it boldly. De Jean nodded his head and said, "Thank you." Song Hong Chang said. Following that, everyone started to inject profound spirit chi into the space spirit crystals, and in a moment, the ordinary-looking space spirit crystals started to release a resplendent light aura. It was extremely dazzling. "Don't use too much, try to conserve your strength," Su Yun told Qing softly. Qing was confused, but she did not ask any questions, and immediately did as she was told. After the infusion, everyone was completely exhausted, and immediately sat down cross-legged, and started to meditate and recover. "Brother Li, follow me in." Song Hong Chang laughed gently. Li Fu Zai immediately stepped in. Seeing that, Su Yun hesitated for a moment, then said, "Qing let's also set up a barrier enchantment." With that said, Lu Jie and De Jean looked at the two of them in confusion. "Young master, why are you setting up a barrier enchantment for no reason?" Qing asked. Su Yun chuckled, and said, "There are some things that are inconvenient to be seen by others, it is better to set up a barrier enchantment." After saying that, Su Yun pinched Qing soft and tender face. Hearing that, Qing was startled. Her face immediately turned so red that it looked as though blood was about to drip out. She immediately lowered her head, her body squirming, her voice as soft as a mosquito. "Young master, do you really want to?" "Of course." Hearing Su Yun's determination, Qing was a little happy, but also afraid, but she would never go against any of Su Yun's requests. With such a complicated feeling, Qing started to carefully draw the array. Her fair little hands were trembling, and her head was almost buried in her chest. To her, it was a piece of cake to make a shielding array, but it took her almost an hour to make it. "Young master, it's done," Qing said with a trembling voice. "Yes, let's go in." Su Yun, who had been observing Song Hong Chang's barrier enchantment, retracted his gaze, walked towards Qing and pulled her hand into the enchantment. Upon entering the enchantment, Qing quietly stood by Su Yun's side. She lowered her head, and intertwined her fingers together. "Come, Qing sit here." Su Yun patted the place beside him and laughed. "Yes." Qing obediently walked over and sat down, but her face was still red, and she did not dare look at Su Yun. "Qing do the same thing you did the last time." "The one I did the last time? Which one, young master?" Qing looked at him in confusion. "It's that mystical technique that allows me to peep on others." "Ah!" Qing was startled. "Young master, don't tell me you wanted me to lay this enchantment for that? But why did you say such shameful words before?" "Idiot, if I don't say that, won't it make them suspicious?" Su Yun laughed a few times, and suddenly understood Qing actions. He was startled for a moment, and then directly hugged Qing waist, and kissed her tender and alluring red lips, until Qing chest rose and fell rapidly, and her body trembled. Only then did he stop. "Qing I will have you, but not in this disgusting black prison forest. Do you know? Since it has come to this, it is no longer a matter of whether you are willing to follow me, but whether I am willing to let you go," he said in a gentle yet tyrannical manner. Qing looked at the man in front of her in a daze, her eyes suddenly filled with tears, her heart trembling. She was ignorant in the past. She had always been grateful to him. After the unforeseen event, they depended on each other. After leaving the Su family, she was filled with worry. All the years of suffering, at this moment, were all worth it. There were no spectacular scenes, no twists and turns of the story. It was just a simple and indifferent sentence that came out of the blue. Just one sentence was enough. "Young master, you must not let me go." She laughed and cried. In this life, it was only for that sentence. The two of them conversed in the barrier enchantment for a while, revealing their thoughts, and Qing felt an unprecedented satisfaction. But there was no time to lose. Su Yun did not ask Qing to lay the barrier enchantment to talk about love. His main goal was still Song Hong Chang. Very quickly, Qing set up an ice mirror to spy on Song Hong Chang's barrier enchantment. But upon seeing the scene on the ice mirror, the two of them were stunned. Chapter 323. The ice mirror floated, and an image appeared. A faint voice came from the ice mirror. At that moment, Li Fuzai and Song Hong Chang were actually hugging each other. The two of them were passionately kissing, and after a moment, their lips separated. Song Hong Chang's face was flushed red. Her eyes were hazy from being drunk. It was extremely alluring, causing people's blood to boil. Li Fuzai hugged Song Hong Chang, his two large hands caressing Song Hong Chang's delicate body, his breathing becoming hurried. Hong Chang, didn't you say that your mystical technique cannot be seen by others? Why did you let me in? Idiot Big Brotherly, that is just an excuse. Song Hong Chang kissed Li Fuzai and said, "Furthermore, Big Brotherly, are you an outsider?" These words were like a stimulant, causing Li Fuzai to be completely enraged. He had always yearned to possess Song Hong Chang, and had always hoped to be able to press her down and conquer her. Initially, the reason why he had agreed to Song Hong Chang's treasure hunt was mostly because of her. He knew that he was completely captivated by this woman. However, he never expected that this woman would throw herself into his arms today. In truth, this little sister has always liked Big Brotherly, just that Big Brotherly is so handsome, and has such a noble demeanor, adding that your strength is not ordinary. This little sister is afraid that I am not worthy of Big Brotherly, and thus did not dare to open my mouth. Today, with the matter of setting up the formation, this little sister has mustered up her courage, and confided in Big Brother. If Big Brother does not like this little sister, just treat it as this little sister spouting nonsense. Big Brother, please do not hate this little sister. Song Hong Chang said gently. How could that be? Hong Chang, I like you too. Li Fuzai was overjoyed and immediately said, Really? Song Hong Chang revealed a look of joy, and from the looks of it, she was not faking it. Of course, the heavens can bear witness, Li Fuzai said earnestly. Hearing that, Song Hong Chang's eyes were filled with tears. She hugged Li Fuzai tightly and said softly, Big Brotherly, love me well. Hearing this, how could Li Fuzai endure it? He immediately bellowed, and pressed Song Hong Chang down on top of him. Soon, the two of them were stripped naked again. Qing Er's face turned red again, and was about to leave. Don't, Qing Er, don't retreat. You can't retreat. Su Yun immediately said, This is the critical moment, you must not stop. Young master, what are you talking about? Qing Er scolded. Suddenly, she seemed to have thought of something. Her face turned red and white, and her voice trembled. Young master, don't tell me you have this weird habit of peeping? What kind of weird hobby of peeping? Hearing that, Su Yun did not know whether to laugh or cry. I'm not trying to peep, I just want to know how Zhang Hu died. Zhang Hu? Qing Er crooked her neck, a puzzled look on her face. Didn't Zhang Hu die from the poison from the vine thorns? Is there something else? Of course. Su Yun turned his head and stared at the ice mirror and said, You said it before, when Zhang Hu died, the array formation inside the barrier enchantment changed. I don't think it's a coincidence, but what makes me even more suspicious is, how did Song Hong Chang end up with Zhang Hu? Zhang Hu, his looks should not fit the aesthetic standards of the people of Sky Marshall Continent, right? And when Zhang Hu died, Song Hong Chang immediately threw herself into Li Fuzai's embrace. Isn't that suspicious? De Jeune and the rest did not see the scene, and do not know the reason, but we saw it. How can we ignore it? Since we are following Song Hong Chang to search for the profound sky sex treasures, we cannot be sold by her and help her count the money. Young master is right. Qing Er nodded her head. Song Hong Chang is truly suspicious. So, Qing Er, we need to watch carefully. If Zhang Hu was killed by Song Hong Chang, then Li Fuzai will definitely be killed by her. Is that so? Quickly look. Just then, Su Yun suddenly exclaimed out loud. Qing immediately turned to look, only to see that Li Fuzai had flipped his body and carried Song Hong Chang up, and was actually mixing them in the air, causing Song Hong Chang to release a series of soul-devouring moans, her fair and tender flesh swaying in front of the two of them. A series of pa-pa-pa sounds came out from the ice mirror, causing the people who heard it to be intoxicated. Why is it so embarrassing, young master? Is this the Tao of dual cultivation? Qing could not help but turn her head away. She did not dare to look at the scene, but the moans that made her body feel hot made her extremely uncomfortable, and her pair of jade legs continued to rub against each other. Su Yun was not a saint. Seeing the erotic scene in the ice mirror, his mouth was already dry, and he felt extremely uncomfortable. Thinking about the beautiful woman beside him, it was impossible for him to not have any improper thoughts, but he had more important matters to attend to, and it was Qing-er's first time. He was not willing to do it with Qing-er in such a broken place. If he had to choose, he had to choose a good place, and the best would be to choose an auspicious day. Li Fuzai in the ice mirror ferociously sprinted for close to the time it takes for an incense stick to burn. Song Hong Chang almost fainted, and finally Li Fuzai roared out, and then collapsed onto Song Hong Chang's body, gasping for breath. I can't take it anymore, Hong Chang, you're too powerful, I can't take it anymore. Li Fuzai gasped for breath. Brother, why don't you use some profound spirit force? Song Hong Chang giggled and asked Li Fuzai. How can I do that? Doing such a thing, a person's qi and blood will be in an unstable state upon using profound spirit force, although it can last for a long time, but if you are not careful, you will go berserk. Li Fuzai said. Could it be that brother has never heard of the dual cultivation technique? Dual cultivation technique. Li Fuzai's eyes lit up but quickly darkened again. I have heard of it, but I have never trained in it. This little sister has trained in it. Song Hong Chang hugged Li Fuzai's waist and said, Do you want this little sister to teach you? Hong Chang, you really know it? That's great. I heard that dual cultivation techniques can increase cultivation, and both parties benefit from it. If you know such mystical techniques, then why are you being so long-winded? Quickly teach it to me. Brother is truly impatient. Song Hong Chang used her hand to poke Li Fuzai's head, then flipped her body and pressed him down, then sat on top of him. The two of them let out a soft sound. Seeing that Song Hong Chang's face was flushed red, she laughed. Brother, I will recite the chant, you will circulate your qi according to the chant, and coordinate with me to dual cultivate, how about that? Good. Li Fuzai nodded his head. Song Hong Chang swayed her buttocks while reciting the chant, and the two of them began the so-called dual cultivation. Qing-er, who was by Su Yun's side, could not bear to watch any longer. She closed her eyes and activated the ice mirror. Such a shameful thing was something that she would not even dare to think about, but it was actually being broadcasted. How could she accept it? The two people in the ice mirror were still entangled together. The scene was extremely alluring. After an unknown period of time. Young master, I can't take it anymore, Qing-er said with a trembling voice. Su Yun was startled. He turned to look, only to see that Qing-er's face was red, but her eyes were lifeless, looking extremely weak. He immediately became anxious, and immediately checked on Qing-er, only to realize that the profound spirit qi in her body was extremely messy and turbid. Why is it like this? Qing-er quickly stopped the technique. Su Yun immediately said. Crack. The ice mirror shattered, and Qing-er immediately fell to the ground. Su Yun immediately imbued profound spirit qi into her body, and adjusted the energy in her body. But luckily Qing-er was fine. Although this mystical technique is not considered a high-level mystical technique, but to continue using it, it requires a lot of profound spirit qi. Originally, with Qing-er's strength, maintaining it for a day would not be a problem, but the things that the two of them did were too shameful. Qing-er's state of mind was in a mess, so. Qing-er said embarrassedly. Hearing that, Su-yun laughed involuntarily. All right, I know you're shy. Since it's like that, then impart this mystical technique to young master. I will do it myself. Now. Qing-er was startled. Young master, this mystical technique took Qing-er a month to get a glimpse of it. Young master, can you learn it in a night? I can just learn a little bit, since it's not far from here, and you said it before, the longer I learn the mystical technique, the more exquisite it becomes, and the wider the range I can see. Young master is not talented, but it shouldn't be difficult to see a distance of 10 meters, right? Su-yun had the monarch occult force to protect his body, and had the talents of the everlasting stone and the lord of the shrine of evil spirits. His current talent was different from ordinary people, and was completely a genius that was nurtured after birth. With his third stage spirit star realm cultivation, learning a small mystical technique was not difficult. Qing-er had researched the mystical technique rather deeply, and very quickly, she thoroughly explained the profoundness of it. Su-yun immediately started to cast. The first time was extremely difficult. He turned his profound spirit qi into ice mist and leaked it out of his body, but it was unable to congeal, causing Su-yun to be disappointed. But Qing-er, who was by his side, was already a shocking person. She had spent 7 days of effort to turn her profound spirit qi into ice mist, but Su-yun actually managed to learn it in an incense stick worth of time. After that, he congealed the ice mist and carved the coordinate. Seeing Su-yun skillfully carving the coordinates, Qing-er was dumbstruck. Young master, are you really my young master? She muttered. The trash of the Su family was actually so intelligent. Crack. An extremely small ice mirror congealed in Su-yun's palm, and the image in the mirror was extremely blurry. Although it is small, it is not bad, at least I can see it clearly. Su-yun, who was perspiring profusely, muttered to himself. Hearing that, Qing-er could not help but laugh. She covered her mouth and laughed. Young master, it is not bad. When I first congealed this shape, it took me 10 days of effort. You did not even use an hour to learn it. If the palace mistress of the Snow Jade Palace were to know about this, she would definitely be shocked. Hey. Su-yun laughed. He did not say anything else, and focused on the ice mirror. But at that moment, something strange happened. The two of them dual cultivated for a few hours, and finally, Song Hong-chang made her move. She swayed faster and faster, her entire body releasing a red light. On the other hand, Li Fuzai's face was extremely pale, and all the profound spirit qi in his body had dissipated. Not only that, his flesh started to shrivel up, his eyes sunk in, his mouth opened wide, as though he wanted to scream out, but no matter what he did, he could not make a sound. On the contrary, Song Hong-chang's eyes were blood red, her face revealing a sinister and terrifying smile. As though she had gone mad, she swayed and screamed. How is it? Li Fuzai? Is it good? Ha 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 ha, it must be good to do it with this old lady, right? Today, I will let you experience this old lady's power, ha 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 ha. She laughed maniacally, and swung frantically. Li Fuzai's strength became weaker and weaker, and where the two of them intersected, a large amount of red light leaked out. Finally, under Song Hong-chang's crazy swinging, Li Fuzai was sucked dry and turned into a black corpse, and died. Spirit absorption, essence absorption. Su-yun was shocked. Truly a disgusting fellow. Song Hong-chang stood up as though nothing had happened, and kicked Li Fuzai's head. As though she was kicking mud, Li Fuzai's head immediately split into pieces. Seeing that, Qing-er's eyes were wide open, her mouth was wide open, she was completely stunned. While Su-yun's face was gloomy. Why, young master, are we still going to follow Song Hong-chang to search for treasures? Qing-er asked in a daze. Chapter 324. Of course. Su-yun frowned and said softly. Qing-er, there is no knowing what is in a man's heart. I never thought that Song Hong-chang would be so vicious, but with regards to this matter, we have to pretend that we do not know anything. Since our goal is the treasure deposit related to the profound sky sect, before we find the treasure deposit, we cannot beat the grass and scare the snake. But, does the treasure deposit really exist? Qing questioned. Song Hong Chang said that we need 7 people to successfully open the treasure deposit, but Song Hong Chang is killing them one by one. Doesn't that mean we cannot open the treasure deposit? That should not be possible. Young master, I feel that the so-called treasure deposit is just a scam. Song Hong Chang is planning to lure us here for her to feed on. What you said makes sense, but, if it is fake, why would Song Hong Chang mention the profound sky sect? Maybe the treasure deposit is fake, but Song Hong Chang might have some information regarding the profound sky sect. As long as we obtain this information, this trip will not be in vain. Furthermore, I want to see why Song Hong Chang would gather all these people here. Is it really just for her to feed on them to increase her cultivation? Young master currently has such a high cultivation, and is not afraid of them. Su Yun continued to stare at the ice mirror in his hand. Song Hong Chang placed her hand on the dried-up corpse, and gently pressed it. Crack! The corpse dissipated like powder. This was a phenomenon that would happen when all the energy and essence qi in the body was completely sucked out, like a corpse that had been eroded by the wind. Following that, Song Hong Chang took out a green round ball from her storage ring, placed it on the ground, and activated it. Bang! The round ball exploded, and the barrier enchantment instantly shattered, while Song Hong Chang herself was flung out of the barrier enchantment, her entire body covered in mud. Dezhen and the rest who were meditating outside heard the sound, and were immediately awoken. They opened their eyes and looked towards the direction of the explosion. She's acting again, Su Yun said coldly. Qing let's go out and see how she is going to cover up her lies. Yes. Qing nodded her head. At the moment, she did not have any good feelings towards Song Hong Chang, and could even be said to be completely disgusted. The two of them removed the barrier, and headed towards Song Hong Chang's barrier enchantment, only to see that the spirit qi there had become chaotic. A strange undulation rippled out, causing them to be startled. What was even more surprising was that all the poisonous spirit qi that had obstructed them previously had all disappeared. But Song Hong Chang sat there with a blank look on her face, her eyes lifeless, looking like she was in extreme pain. What happened? Dezhen and Lu Jie immediately ran over and supported Song Hong Chang up, and asked anxiously, Big brother Dezhen, the poisonous gas has been cleared. Song Hong Chang bit her lips and said softly, That's a good thing, but what's wrong with you? Also, where's Li Fu Zai? Dezhen looked around but could not find Li Fu Zai. Song Hong Chang covered her face and said in pain, The cleansing of the poison was going smoothly, just that there was an accident. Big brother Li Fu Zai, he's dead. Dezhen and Lu Jie were shocked. They never expected that Li Fu Zai would actually die. What about his corpse? If he's alive, I want to see him. If he's dead, I want to see his corpse. Why isn't Li Fu Zai's corpse here? Lu Jie asked. Big brother Dezhen, I don't know what happened either. Big brother Li Fu Zai and I were working together to dispel the poison, but just as we were about to complete the ceremony, Big brother Li Fu Zai suddenly screamed, and fell to the ground, turning into ashes. He died a horrible death. What? How is that possible? Dezhen was startled, but his eyes were already filled with suspicion. Previously, Zhang Hu had died not long ago, and now, Li Fu Zai was dead as well. Furthermore, the two of them had mysteriously died after being alone with the lady. If one were to say that it was not suspicious, it would be strange. But Song Hong Chang's following words slightly eased Dezhen's suspicions. Big brother Li Fu Zai and I were working together, but just as we were about to complete, I realized that the poison gas suddenly surged towards his body. Big brother Li Fu Zai was unable to resist the strange poison gas, and immediately died. The poison gas will automatically envelop a person's body? Isn't that too strange? And why are you fine, but Li Fu Zai is in trouble? Su Yun asked. He was extremely interested in the lies that the lady had concocted. I don't know why either. Wait, everyone, do you think it's because of the wandering Palia beast's poison? Big brother Li Fu Zai ate the poison from the thorns, but I didn't. I heard that the thorns have the effect of drawing poison. Maybe it was caused by the wandering Palia beast's poison. Song Hong Chang revealed a look of understanding, and said with a serious look, "What you said is not without reason. Li Fu Zai's cultivation is above yours. If it was truly because of the poison gas, you would definitely not have been able to escape, but at that time, he was too close to Zhang Hu, and was careless and ate some of the thorn's poison. I have heard of drawing poison before, maybe that's what it is." De Zhen sighed and said, "Since it has come to this, it can only be said that fate is toying with us. Although Li Fu Zai is dead, our small group cannot be disbanded. Everyone, now that the poison gas has been cleared, let us continue on our way. Sai, I really hope to leave this godforsaken place soon. If not, I really don't know how I will die." Lu Jie sighed. "Don't worry, Sister Lu, after passing through this small path, we will quickly enter the dragon forest region that produces dragon trees. At that time, we will be able to easily find the profound sky sex treasure deposit. Everyone will split the treasures, and immediately leave this godforsaken place." Song Hong Chang said, "We are reaching the dragon forest region soon? I have observed it, it is roughly half a day's journey." "That's great." Lu Jie was overjoyed. The group could not wait any longer, and immediately followed Song Hong Chang's lead. Truly powerful to be able to come up with such lies. Qing Er, who was at the back of the group, said softly to Su Yun, "If she did not think of an excuse beforehand, how would she dare to act so brazenly against Li Fu Zai?" Su Yun shook his head and laughed bitterly. A woman's heart was like a needle at the bottom of the sea. That was true, although he had seen Song Hong Chang's true face through the ice mirror, but in the world, only she knew what she was thinking. "Young master, who do you think Song Hong Chang is going to deal with next?" "I'm not sure, but I think she will not use that method again. If she does it again and again, it will only raise our suspicions. She is a smart person, and will definitely use another method." "What method? How would I know?" Su Yun shrugged his shoulders. After passing through the dusky dense forest, there was a rugged stone path. Both sides of the stone path were filled with dried branches and rotten leaves. It did not look like a forest at all, but Song Hong Chang was extremely familiar with the path, and led the group forward, all the way until they reached a region filled with vines. Only then did they stop. The region was extremely mystical. It was filled with trees, but every single tree was as wide as a few people, and on the trunks of the trees, there were vines that looked like dragons and snakes. This was the famous dragon forest region of Black Prison Forest. Song Hong Chang walked over and looked around, then started to look for something on the ground. "What are you looking at?" Lu Jie could not help but ask. "I am looking for the entrance. If the profound sky sex treasure deposit is here, then the entrance must be here as well," Song Hong Chang said. Lu Jie nodded and did not say anything. After an incense stick worth of time, "I found it!" Song Hong Chang exclaimed out loud. Everyone immediately surrounded her. Song Hong Chang pushed aside the mud on the ground, and found a stone switch inside the mud. The switch looked to be from an ancient era, and its color was extremely ancient, but upon seeing the switch, Su Yun's mind became extremely chaotic. There truly is a switch. If this is truly the entrance to the treasure deposit, doesn't that mean that Song Hong Chang did not lie to everyone? She did not lie about the treasure deposit, and the treasure deposit is truly there. Gotcha. Just then, a clear and melodious sound came out from the switch. Song Hong Chang had activated it. In that moment, the dragon forest region that was filled with dragon forest trees immediately started to shake. The surroundings started to tremble, the ground started to shake, as though there was an earthquake. The place where the switch was automatically split open, and a deep and long stone staircase leading underground appeared in front of everyone's eyes. "That's great! That's great!" This is definitely the entrance to the treasure deposit. That's great. Seeing that, Lu Jie was ecstatic. How could she maintain her composure? He had already rushed towards the stone steps without a care for anything else. Lu Jie, don't be rash. De Zhen shouted anxiously. Everyone had gone through many hardships to come here, with only one goal, and that was the treasure deposit. Along the way, everyone had suspected that the treasure deposit was real. Song Hongchang's information was extremely well prepared, but at the moment, no one had any doubts. Don't hesitate anymore, everyone, follow me in. Song Hongchang shouted, and then took the lead to go down the stairs. De Zhen shook his head helplessly, but without hesitation, he followed Song Hongchang down. Young master, what do we do? Qing'er looked at the people who were entering the stone staircase and asked softly. Let's go in, but we need to be on guard. Previously, Song Hongchang said that we needed 7 people to open the treasure deposit, but in the end, it was so easy to open. How can we not be surprised? De Zhen and Lu Jie have already lost their minds because of the treasure deposit, and completely ignored this point. Su Yun said softly. The two of them walked down the stone staircase. At the bottom of the stone staircase was a long and straight stone path, and at the end of the stone path was a stone door that was as tall as a person and as wide as 2 people. The stone door was tightly shut, but in everyone's eyes, it was a huge door that led to countless treasures. Lu Jie, who was extremely calm and collected along the way, was now extremely frantic. As she neared the door, she immediately activated her profound spirit qi and fiercely struck the door. Dong dong dong. The stone door was blasted open. Large amounts of multicolored light leaked out from inside the stone door. The light auras were like gold and silver gems, causing everyone's heart to beat wildly. They were extremely excited. Seeing the light auras, not to mention Lu Jie, even De Zhen could not hold back, and immediately ran towards the door. Could it really be countless treasures? Su Yun was startled. After thinking for a while, he took a deep breath and immediately stepped forward. However, the moment he stepped through the door, he immediately understood that he had been tricked. Behind the stone door, there were no so-called treasures like elixirs or magic treasures. Instead, there was a huge array that had already been activated. Chapter 325. A man dressed in black robes and wielding a halberd stood by the side of the formation. When everyone walked in, the halberd man glanced at them and shook his head. Song Hongchang, you're too slow. Why did you take so long this time? Speak, did you eat all by yourself along the way? Master, you really know how to joke. Hongchang has been working for you wholeheartedly. How could I have the guts? Here. This time, I've gathered 4 for you. It should be enough for you to eat for 2 months, right? Song Hongchang crossed her arms and leaned on the wall beside the door and chuckled. Yes, let me see. The halberd man looked at Su Yun, Qing'er, De Zhen and Lu Jie, then nodded his head in satisfaction. Not bad, not bad. All of them have good talent, I am satisfied, but I can't see through this guy's talent and cultivation. He's just wearing a treasure. Song Hongchang licked her lips. If master doesn't feel at ease using him, you can give him to me. You flirtatious hussy. Have you taken a fancy to this pretty boy? Heh, but I can't give him to you this time. I am about to ascend to the spirit star realm, and am lacking food. This time, I will enjoy all of them. With that, the halberd man walked over. He's a 10th stage spirit soul realm expert. Lu Jie exclaimed. Hongchang, what the hell was going on? Didn't you say you were going to bring us to find the profound sky sex treasure deposit? Why is there nothing here? And what is the meaning of your conversation with this man? Who is he? De Zhen was completely stupefied. Forget about De Zhen, even Su Yun and Qing'er did not understand. The conversation between the two of them made them feel as though they were walking on thin ice. Could it be that everything was fake? A bunch of idiots, can't you see the situation? Song Hong Chang crossed her arms and sneered. What do you mean I'm bringing you to find the profound sky sect's treasure deposit? That was all a lie. I received Master Wan Chi's orders, to lure spirit soul realm cultivators here, to feed Master, to increase his cultivation, and train in mystical techniques. There is no such thing as the profound sky sect's treasure deposit, you are all just Master's food. What? Lu Jie and De Zhen's faces turned pale. Su Yun was secretly shocked, he did not expect it to be like this. Everything that Song Hong Chang did was just to find people to feed the halberd man? A living human as food? Doesn't that mean the deaths of Zhang Hu and Li Fuzai were caused by you? De Zhen seemed to have thought of something and exclaimed, Could it be that you ate them? Hearing that, Song Hong Chang's face changed, and she said anxiously, You dog, what are you saying? But in the next second, Song Hong Chang's abdomen was immediately struck heavily, and she flew out, crashing onto the wall at the side. She spat out blood, looking extremely miserable. Song Hong Chang, I imparted the spirit-absorbing technique to you because you have worked hard for me for so many years, but I never thought that you would actually hide it from me and secretly absorb the food that belongs to me. Haha, you really disappoint me. As soon as he finished speaking, the man with the halberd suddenly stretched out his hand and grabbed the air. Song Hong Chang's body immediately flew up and crashed into the man's palm. Lord Wan Chi, I didn't steal anything. Sir, spare me. I didn't steal anything. Song Hong Chang cried out anxiously. But the man with the halberd did not care. He grabbed onto Song Hong Chang's neck and moved his face closer, directly biting onto Song Hong Chang's lips. He then stuck his tongue into her mouth and started to instigate a technique. Waves of gray-white light surged out from the place where the two of them intersected, and Song Hong Chang's alluring and tender face started to deteriorate at a speed visible to the naked eye. In a moment it became dry and rough, and her hair became dull and dull, as though she had aged by 20 years, and was no longer youthful. Wan Chi swung his hand, causing Song Hong Chang to fall to the ground powerlessly and gasp for breath. The profound spirit chi in her body was already extremely thin, while Wan Chi's profound spirit chi had increased by quite a bit, and was much more active than before. Since you stole something, then you have to return it with double the benefit. Hong Chang, this master has always been fair to people, you will have your food, but it will not be this master's food, do you understand? Wan Chi chuckled. Seeing Song Hong Chang in such a state, De Zhen and Lu Jie's hearts were filled with shock and panic. Lu Jie's entire body started to tremble, she was extremely afraid, while De Zhen suppressed the fear in his heart and asked, What is going on? Who are you guys? Us. Wan Chi laughed. We are from the Profound Sky Sect. Profound Sky Sect? Su Yun frowned, he could not believe his own ears. Why are the Profound Sky Sect people here? You're obviously lying. Ching asked loudly. A group of ignorant juniors, the Profound Sky Sect is spread all over the Sky Martial Continent, and this is a formation point set up by the Profound Sky Sect. Because this formation point is related to a big plan of the sect, I am too lazy to explain it to you in detail. I am an elite of the Profound Sky Sect that was sent by the sect to guard this place, and Song Hong Chang is a disciple that I took in along the way. She used to be a prostitute, and did not know anything, but seeing that her talent was not bad, I took her in to play with, and imparted my unique consummate technique to her. I never expected that in a short span of 50 years, she would step into the 7th stage of the spirit-soul realm, truly powerful. She is much stronger than me as her master. Wan Chi said, his mouth revealing a sinister and cold smile. He walked towards Ching step by step. Ever since the four of them entered, his gaze had immediately landed on Ching. What a natural beauty, what a shocking talent. He could not leave the formation point, so he had to rely on Song Hong Chang to find food and cultivate. But after so many years, Song Hong Chang had tricked many people for him, but none of them could compare to her. She is truly of the highest quality. Wan Qi licked his lips, thinking excitedly in his heart. Master, you promised me before, if I help you find food one more time, you would cure me of the poison in my body, and let me leave Black Prison Forest. Now that I have done it, Master, please give me the antidote. Just then, Song Hong Chong, who was lying on the ground, spoke out weakly. Heh, you want the antidote? So that you can leave this place and fly alone, and go out hunting to your heart's content? How can I do that? You are my fishing rod that I have groomed with great difficulty. I have not even broken through to the spirit star realm. How can I throw away my fishing rod and throw away my own rice bowl? Wait a while more, wait for this master to officially step into the spirit star realm, then you can scram. Wan Qi sneered. Ignoring Song Hong Chong, he grabbed out with his palm. Su Yun's eyes turned cold. His heart was like a cold blade. His eyes filled with killing intent as he stared at Wan Qi, and was about to make his move. But just at that moment, De Jeunes moved. Without any hesitation, he immediately changed his direction and rushed out of the big door, taking the chance to escape. Wan Qi stopped his hand and revealed a sinister smile as he stared at De Jeunes. You want to leave? It's not that simple. With that said, Wan Qi's figure exploded out, and in that moment, he appeared in front of De Jeunes, and then smashed down with his halberd. De Jeunes anxiously used his profound spirit qi to block, but the halberd's power was unknown. Upon smashing onto his body, it was as though a mountain had crashed into him, or 10,000 horses trampling on him. De Jeunes was unable to defend at all, and fell to the ground, his chest cracked. Wan Qi's hand formed a claw, and fiercely pierced into De Jeunes' head, his 5 fingers piercing out 5 holes, and like a straw, he frantically absorbed the spirits in De Jeunes' body. Ah! De Jeunes' face contorted. He was in extreme pain. He raised both of his hands and activated his lifetime's worth of techniques, attacking Wan Qi crazily. But Wan Qi's gown seemed to be of a high grade. He did not care about De Jeunes' attacks at all, and instead used his 5 fingers to absorb the spirits to disrupt De Jeunes' attacks. Wan Qi was at the peak of the 10th stage spirit soul realm, while De Jeunes had just entered the 9th stage, although there was a difference of 1 stage, but in the realm of the spirit star realm, the difference of 1 stage was like heaven and earth. Time passed slowly. De Jeunes was unable to break Wan Qi. The spirits in his body were frantically absorbed, and gradually, De Jeunes' skin started to crack and wither. His body became skinny, and in a moment, he became a dried-up corpse like Zhang Hu, completely dead. Lu Jie, who was watching from the side, opened her eyes wide, her pupils filled with fear. She sat on the ground powerlessly, her entire body trembling, her heart seemingly about to jump out of her throat. De Jeunes was a 9th stage spirit soul realm cultivator. To actually die like that, she was just a 3rd stage spirit soul realm cultivator. How could she fight against him? Powerful people truly taste good. Delicious. Delicious. Ha 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 ha. Wan Qi laughed maniacally. He licked his lips, looking as though he wanted to continue. He opened his eyes that were filled with fanaticism and walked towards Qinger, his hands moving. Next, it's your turn. Beauty. Ha. With that said, he was about to make his move. Wait a minute. Just then, Su Yun spoke out. Do you have anything to say? Wan Qi smiled and asked, as though he was very patient. I just want to ask, what is the plan behind this formation point? What is your profound sky sect trying to do? Su Yun asked with a serious face. And according to what I know, your cultivation technique should be a spirit demon Dao cultivation technique. How did you learn it? Did the profound sky sect people teach you? You have too many questions. Wan Qi laughed. Regretfully, I do not wish to say a single one. I just want to have a good meal now. With that said, Wan Qi moved and scurried towards Qing. But in the instant that he moved, a powerful hand suddenly reached out to grab him by the neck. It was even faster and with even more force. Wan Qi didn't even have time to react before he was grabbed by the hand and lifted into the air. Wan Qi was startled, but the force on his neck made him unable to breathe. His legs flailed in the air, it was extremely uncomfortable. Song Hongchang, who was at the side, was also dumbstruck. Wan Qi, who was extremely powerful in her eyes, was actually lifted up by someone else. Su Yun swung his hand and threw Wan Qi out. His body landed on the ground, creating a huge crater, and the skin on his body started to crack, making him look extremely miserable. You won't be able to eat today, it's better for you to answer my questions obediently. Su Yun said. Who exactly are you? Wan Qi ignored the pain in his body and crawled up to ask. Su Yun. Su Yun. Wan Qi's eyes revealed suspicion, as though he had never heard of that name before. But Song Hongchang and Lu Jie were shocked. Su Yun. You're the Su Yun wanted by the Profound Sky sect? Then this Wu Qing is Su Qing? Song Hongchang exclaimed. Wan Qi was given the task of guarding the array formation point by the Profound Sky sect, and was not allowed to leave, so he did not know much about the outside world. But Song Hongchang was different. She went in and out of the Black Prison Forest, and knew a lot of information, so naturally she had heard of Su Yun. So you're the wanted man of the Profound Sky sect, Wan Qi said, but his mind was extremely gloomy, although he did not know the other party's strength. But from the previous move, Wan Qi knew that the other party was extremely powerful, far above him. I need to think of a way to solve this, Wan Qi thought. But in the next second the other party rushed over again. His two hands were like pincers, directly grabbing onto Wan Qi's arms, and then, whoosh! Ah! A miserable shriek came out. Both of Wan Qi's arms were ripped off. No matter what, you are still a 10th stage Spirit Soul Realm cultivator. Just in case, I will first cripple your arms, Su Yun said. His voice was calm, but his methods were extremely cruel. This move of his completely shocked everyone in the area. Chapter 326. Seeing that, Lu Jie was extremely startled. To be able to so easily destroy a peak 10th stage Spirit Soul Realm cultivator, what is Su Yun's cultivation level? Spirit Star Realm? You have a Spirit Star Realm cultivation? She muttered. Su Yun did not say anything. But those words caused Song Hongchang and Wan Qi's faces to change, their hearts to jump. I am completely unable to contend against his strength and speed, and my spirit qi is completely suppressed by him. I am not his opponent at all, he is like an insurmountable mountain. Spirit Star Realm, he is definitely a Spirit Star Realm cultivator. Wan Qi clenched his teeth, enduring the pain in his arms. He stared fiercely at Song Hongchang. This idiotic woman, how did she provoke a Spirit Star Realm cultivator? Since you have a Spirit Star Realm cultivation, why didn't you save Big Brother Dejun? Lu Jie looked at Su Yun, her voice filled with resentment. If he was willing to stay and fight against Wan Qi with us, maybe I would have saved him. He has the strength of a 9th stage Spirit Soul Realm cultivator. Although we are not strong enough, we still have some fighting strength, and maybe we can fight for a chance to live. But he ran away without saying a word. He did not care about our lives. Why should I save him? Su Yun said indifferently. Hearing that, Lu Jie was speechless. In truth, ever since they had joined the small group, Su Yun had been secretly paying attention to every single one of them. Although Lu Jie looked old, her thoughts were the purest. Li Fuzai and Zhang, whose minds were filled with lust, and were also blinded by benefits. If not, they would not have died so quickly. Song Hongchang was the most slick and sly, and was always able to easily deal with everyone, while Dejun was an extremely shrewd person. In his heart, he only sought the treasures, and had a trace of unfathomable vigilance against everyone. If there was someone who would kill the members of the small group after finding the treasures, then that person would definitely be Dejun, because only his strength could do that. Although Su Yun did not know if he would do that, but from the expression he had when Zhang Hu and Li Fuzai died, he was definitely not a good person. Su Yun did not feel the slightest bit of pity towards Dejun's death. Furthermore, He was most concerned about the Profound Sky Sect's plan. Isn't the Profound Sky Sect the reason for wanting Qing? Speak, what is the use of this formation point? What is the Profound Sky Sect's plan? Tell me everything you know. If you tell me the truth, not only will I not kill you, but I will also help you reattach your arm. How about it? Su Yun squatted down and looked at Wan Qi, who was lying on the ground in pain. I can't say it. I'll die if I do. Wan Qi gritted his teeth and growled. I'll die. Are you afraid of the Profound Sky Sect's revenge? Don't worry, I won't tell anyone else. Other than the people here, no one else will know about this. The Profound Sky Sect will not know that you were the one who told me about the plan. Really? If I want to kill you, I only need to move my finger. Do you think you have the ability to fight against a third-stage Spirit Star Realm cultivator? Su Yun bellowed. He closed his heavenly scale divine eye, and a dense spirit chi enveloped Wan Qi. Wan Qi's body instantly trembled. He felt a little out of breath. His spirit was being violently suppressed by his opponent, and a sense of danger rose from within his body. Was this the feeling that the strong gave the weak? Wan Qi's eyes constricted, his face turned white. I'll speak, master. What do you want to know? I'll tell you everything I know. Finally, Wan Qi could no longer endure the pressure from Su Yun and spoke softly. What is the Profound Sky Sect's plan? Su Yun asked. The Profound Sky Sect's plan, actually, I don't know much about it. Although I am an elite disciple of the Profound Sky Sect, but I have been placed here for a full 50 years. At that time, I only vaguely heard about it from the 32 clan elders who taught me mystical technique. The plan is actually a forging plan, and is linked to the cultivation of the Lord of the Sect. Forging plan? Forging what? What does it have to do with your sect leader? Su Yun asked anxiously. I don't know. Such confidential matters are not something I can know. Wan Qi immediately shook his head, his voice was anxious. That's true. Su Yun's gaze landed on the gigantic array formation in the center of the empty space, and asked again. Then regarding this array formation point, you should know about it, right? This is the array formation point of an unprecedentedly gigantic divine array set up by the Profound Sky Sect, and information regarding this array formation is a secret of the Profound Sky Sect. Because I participated in the defense of the array formation point, I was fortunate enough to know about it. It is said that this array formation has been created by 2 generations of sect leaders, and the current lord is the 3rd sect leader, and the scale of the array formation is unprecedentedly huge. Unprecedentedly huge? How big is it? It is as big as the Sky Martial Continent is, because it is created based on the Sky Martial Continent, which also means its base is the entire continent. Wan Qi said. What? Su Yun and the rest were shocked. Using the continent as the base to create a large array formation? How is that possible? Qing muttered. How could anyone have heard of such a thing? The Profound Sky Sect is not something you can imagine. Some laughable people still think that it is just a sect like the Immortal Sword Sect. Wrong, that is just a facade. The real Profound Sky Sect, the Immortal Sword Sect, does not even have the qualifications to carry their shoes. This unprecedented super array formation has a total of 980,000 array paths, 13,700 array formation points, over 7,000 array diagrams and 32 array essences. As for the number and location of the array origin, I do not know. I am also not clear on the usage of this array formation point. My duty is only to guard this place, and did not participate in creating this array formation point. Wan Qi said. Hearing that, Su Yun's face became gloomy. In truth, he did not know much about the Profound Sky Sect, even the sect leader of the Profound Sky Sect in his previous life. Su Yun knew very little about him, and only knew that he killed Qing with one palm and nothing else. But from the Su family's attitude towards the Profound Sky Sect, the Profound Sky Sect's strength was definitely not as what people said. A 10th stage spirit soul realm cultivator, if placed in a sect like the Immortal Sword sect, he would at least be a clan elder, and you are merely an elite, and were sent to Black Prison Forest to guard such an array formation point. From this, it can be seen that the Profound Sky sect is truly powerful. Su Yun observed the array formation point for a moment, but could not sense any spirit chi, and only felt that it was continuously releasing a strange profound spirit chi into the air. The profound spirit chi was extremely ordinary, and was simply mixed with energy, and after merging with the air, it would immediately disappear, and did not seem to have any strange uses. I broke the sect's rules, and was punished by the sect, so I was sent here to guard the array formation point for 70 years. Normally, for such an array formation point, they would have to invite other sect members to guard it, and with my strength, I should at least be stationed at the array formation core. Stationed at the array formation core, if what you said is true, then, the other people stationed at the array formation core most likely know of this plan, right? I am not sure about that, but I know that there are very few people who know of this plan, and I am afraid that not many of the elites know of it. At the very least, only the deacons and clan elders of the sect would be able to participate. If that's the case, then how did you learn the Great Spirit Assimilation technique? Does the Profound Sky sect still impart such mystical techniques that take human spirits? That's what I obtained by chance, and I did not learn it from the sect. Is that so? Su Yun stood up and nodded his head, a cold intent flashing past his eyes. Seems like I will not be able to obtain any information from you. You said before, if I tell you everything I know, you will not kill me, right? Wan Chi's voice was trembling, and he spoke frantically. No, I can go back on my words. I am not a gentleman. Su Yun said indifferently. You. Wan Chi opened his mouth, but did not know how to refute. He saw Su Yun unsheathing the immortal mystical scarlet blood sword. He walked towards him step by step, and when he got close, he slashed down. Ah! Wan Chi unleashed his last resistance. He spat out a ray of light that struck the sword in Su Yun's hand. The sword tip had yet to reach his head. But in the next second, a few rays of light flew out from the sword sheath behind Su Yun, and in the blink of an eye, they flew horizontally towards Wan Chi Puchi. Wan Chi's body froze, and then he fell to the ground. His body was split into many pieces, and a large amount of blood flowed out. Seeing that, Lu Jie was startled, while Qing bit her lips, her eyes revealing a complicated look. She looked at Su Yun, and gently grabbed onto the corner of her clothes. Young master had changed. He had become cautious and meticulous. He had become vicious and ruthless. What was the reason for him to change so much? Wan Chi must die, if not he will tell the Profound Sky sect about us barging into this place, and with that, the Profound Sky sect will increase their strength to chase after us. Only by killing him, the Profound Sky sect will not know that we entered this place. I wonder if I have a basic understanding of this plan. Su Yun kept the immortal mystical scarlet blood sword, and then looked at the array formation point, finally stopping at Song Hong Chang, who was lying on the ground. At the moment, Song Hong Chang's face was extremely pale, the spirit chi around her body was extremely weak, her eyes were lifeless, she looked as though she was on her last breath, and was about to leave the world. Su Yun frowned. He immediately walked over and helped her up. Innate spiritual link? Seeing that the clothes around Song Hong Chang's chest was completely dyed red, Su Yun was startled. That's right, it is an innate spiritual link. Song Hong Chang revealed a pale smile. Wan Chi had already forcefully linked with my heart. He was worried that I would betray him, so he placed an imprint on my heart and his heart. Now that he is dead, I will not live for long. I never thought that I would cause your death. Su Yun said. It doesn't matter, to me, dying is better than living. Song Hong Chang laughed with a pale face. No one could understand the sorrow that flashed past her eyes. Actually, I am not a bad person, I just want to live peacefully, and cultivate profound spirit. Cultivation is just to earn a few more spirit coins, but who can understand us poor children? But, if I could choose again, I would rather continue to be a prostitute than to be tempted by Wan Qi, and cultivate profound spirit. Cultivation. Definitely not. As she spoke, Tsong Hong Chang's hands slowly drooped down. A pitiful person would definitely have a hateful side, and a hateful person would naturally have a pitiful side. Su Yun sighed and placed Tsong Hong Chang on the ground. Qing and Lu Jie did not say a word, and quietly watched as Tsong Hong Chang's eyes slowly closed. Whoosh! Just then, beside Wan Qi's corpse, a badge suddenly blossomed with a blue light. The dazzling light aura shot into the air and started to move. It was the sect badge of the Profound Sky sect. In the next moment, a gigantic light door appeared. A large amount of light-colored coordinates floated around the door, and inside the light door, a few powerful spirit chi shot out. There were actually 3 first-stage Spirit Star Realm Spirit Chi. Shit! Su Yun's face changed. He immediately grabbed onto Qing Er's hand and shouted to Lu Jie, "Quickly go!" Lu Jie, who was in a daze, immediately regained her senses. How could she hesitate? She then followed Su Yun and rushed out. Chapter 327. After leaving the so-called treasure trove, the 3 of them hurriedly flew out of the Dragon Forest area. The Profound Sky sect is truly not ordinary. Seems like it will not be easy to deal with them. Su Yun muttered as he ran. Master Su Yun, aren't you at the Spirit Star Realm? Why are you running? Lu Jie asked. Su Yun's identity had been exposed, and his cultivation was high, so the way she addressed him had changed, and she was even more careful with her words, but she was happy to have a relationship with a Spirit Star Realm cultivator. Knowing a strong cultivator was also a method for low cultivation Spirit Intermediate Realm cultivators to protect themselves, since in the future, if someone were to make a move on her, she could at least mention her backing to protect herself. The other party has sent out 3 Spirit Star Realm cultivators. If I do not run, I am afraid that I will be in deep trouble. What? Spirit Star Realm? How could this be? It would still make sense if there was only one of them, but how could there be 3 of them? Master Su Yun, are you sure you did not sense wrongly? I also hope that I'm wrong. Su Yun frowned. But that is the truth, but they were not casually sent by the Profound Sky sect. It is obvious that they used the order badge to capture my spirit chi, and roughly estimated my strength, then sent the Spirit Star Realm experts to deal with me. To be able to find 3 Spirit Star Realm experts in such a short period of time, it can be seen that the Profound Sky sect's strength is far from what other sects can compare to. Qing said in a low voice. Not only that, what surprised me even more was the spatial coordinates inside the Profound Sky sect's disciple badge. It actually automatically activates after the owner dies, and captures the surrounding Profound Spirit Chi and uses the coordinates to send it back to the Profound Sky sect, allowing the Profound Sky sect's people to roughly know the strength of the person who killed the disciples, and then use the spatial coordinates to create a bridge, allowing the experts of the Profound Sky sect to directly cross over and arrive here. I've only seen this technique in books, but there are very few records about it. Moreover, the books are only hypotheses, and no one has ever tried it. Looking at the entire continent, I have never heard of any sect having such a technique. It is clear that the Profound Sky sect's mystical techniques far surpass the other sects. Su Yun's heart tightened, his face became ugly. From the looks of it, Wan Qi was right. Compared to the Profound Sky sect, the Immortal Sword sect was truly nothing. Qing. Just then, Su Yun called out. Young master, what's wrong? My spirit chi is too strong. They can use my spirit chi to easily pinpoint our location. On the contrary, with me attracting their attention, all of you can easily escape. Qing, you leave with Lu Jie first. I will block the Profound Sky sect's people. Su Yun said softly. No. Just as Su Yun finished speaking, Qing immediately shouted. Young master, are you trying to lie to me again? I won't fall for it. I will never abandon you and leave by myself. Her face was pale, her fingers were clenched tightly, and her eyes were filled with fear. She was afraid. He was extremely afraid, afraid that what happened at Blossom Heart Valley would happen again. Ching-er! Su Yun roared hysterically. His eyes were red, staring straight at Ching-er. You have to know. A battle between Spirit Star Realm cultivators is extremely cruel. If they want to kill you, they only need a thought. You can't stay here. Do you understand? Promise me. Let's go. 10 days later. Let's meet in a tea house in Persevering Pine City. Run. Young master. If you stay here, I will have to divert my attention to protect you. Only if you leave, can you truly help me? Su Yun roared. Ching-er's eyes were filled with tears. She looked at Su Yun with a pair of sorrowful eyes. She bit her lips, and finally nodded her head, deciding to leave. Seeing that, Su Yun heaved a sigh of relief. Lu Jie and Ching-er did not hesitate. After making their decision, the two of them turned and left. Seeing that, Su Yun immediately released his profound spirit chi, attracting the pursuers. The speed of the 3 Spirit Star Realm cultivators was ridiculously fast. Su Yun and Ching-er had only separated for an incense stick worth of time, and the spirit chi had already caught up. 2 second stage Spirit Star Realm cultivators, 1 first stage Spirit Star Realm cultivator. Although the 3 Spirit Star Realm cultivators could not kill him, but if he was entangled with them, it would still be troublesome. The Order Badge's coordinates could send the 3 of them over, so it was hard to guarantee that there would not be stronger existences. At that moment, Su Yun did not doubt the fact that the Profound Sky sect had 3rd stage Spirit Star Realm cultivators or higher. If even more terrifying people came, he would be in danger. You look like a new face, but your strength is extremely shocking. Who are you? Why did you kill our Profound Sky sect's disciples? An old man dressed in a gray cloak and wielding a cane rushed to Su Yun and asked. Su Yun's eyes congealed. He unsheathed the immortal mystical scarlet blood sword from his back and looked at the 3 people around him. I never thought that the Profound Sky sect would come so quickly. I have truly underestimated your Profound Sky sect in the past. Since Sire is not willing to reveal your identity, then fine, sire, come with us. Bring him back to the Profound Sky sect. The bald middle-aged man on the right signaled to the other 2 with his eyes, then rushed towards Su Yun. You can't bring me away. Su Yun bellowed. The immortal mystical scarlet blood sword swung, the sword sheath moved restlessly, and a large number of flying swords rushed out, flying towards the 3 of them. Sword concept covered the entire sky. The flying swords flew everywhere. The surroundings were filled with the images of the sword. These flying swords you're Su Yun? The bald man was startled. He retreated and said, I can't hide it anymore. Su Yun initially did not want to reveal his identity, but at the moment, if he did not use the limitless sword arts, he was not their match. I never thought that Su Yun would actually appear here. If you are here, then Su Ching-er will definitely be here as well. Su Yun, if you hand Su Ching-er over, I can still let you go. If not, the Profound Sky sect will personally destroy you. The man in the gray cloak said. I'll hand you over. Su Yun was enraged, his eyes releasing black smoke. He immediately raised his sword and rushed forward. Su Ching-er was his weakness. No matter what, no one could touch her. If not, he would be enraged. A large amount of evil chi erupted. Su Yun activated the immortal mystical scarlet blood sword and brandished the 1,000 swords, transforming into a storm that struck forward, every sword releasing terrifying evil spirits, attacking the gray-cloaked man in a frenzy. The gray-cloaked man's face congealed. He immediately took out his treasure, a single-handed blade. He raised the blade. The blade's edge released a whirlpool of chi blades that enveloped the blade. But when the evil spirits attacked, their attacks overflowed into the sky. The chi blades trembled frantically, and cracks started to appear in many places, as though they were about to be torn apart. I have heard of the matters in Chin Creek, but I never thought that Su Yun would actually enter the evil realm. But even so, you are unable to fight against our profound sky sect. Just obediently give up and go, the gray-cloaked man said indifferently. Fuck you. Su Yun thrusted his sword, the evil chi on the sword body wreaked havoc. The raging sword concept instantly shattered the chi blades and struck towards the gray-cloaked man's heart. So powerful! The gray-cloaked man was secretly surprised. He did not dare to fight with Su Yun, and immediately retreated with his blade. Just as he was retreating, another lady with short hair rushed over. She held onto 2 daggers. The daggers were as fast as lightning, attacking in a crafty manner, and when she got close to Su Yun, the daggers transformed into 2 venomous snake mouths. But just at that moment, a pitch-black evil spirit suddenly appeared behind Su Yun, and directly grabbed onto the 2 daggers. What? The short-hair lady was secretly surprised. It's evil arts. He is proficient in the evil realm's evil arts, and evil arts are known for being sinister and strange. Be careful! The bald man shouted and rushed over to help. A large number of flying swords flew over, obstructing the bald man. 1 man, 1,000 swords, 1 spirit, to be able to kill 3 people at the same time and not be at a disadvantage. The 3 experts from the profound sky sect were secretly surprised. This person, why is he completely different from the information? When did he become so strong? The bald man thought. Don't worry. We just need to hold him back and wait for Master Jia Shazi to arrive. Master Jia Shazi is more than enough to deal with him. The gray-cloaked man bellowed. Evil sword suppression. Suddenly, Su Yun bellowed. The evil spirit and 1,000 swords behind him were all withdrawn and rushed towards the gray-cloaked man. The evil sword chi that was like a flood and ferocious beast burst forth, like a bullet shot out from a gun, striking towards the man. Master Shi too. Be careful. Seeing that, the other 2 were extremely shocked. The gray-cloaked man's eyes tensed up. He wanted to dodge, but Su Yun's killing technique was too sudden, too ferocious, and he was unable to escape from his attack range. Helpless, the gray-cloaked man could only release an earth chi wall to block. Bang! The ferocious attacks continued. The earth chi wall did not even last for 5 seconds, before it was directly torn apart by the evil chi, and a large number of flying swords pierced into the gray-cloaked man's flesh. The gray-cloaked man could not hold on any longer, and immediately fell to the ground, his entire body filled with sword wounds, if not for the fact that he was a second-stage spirit-soul cultivator with a dense life force and powerful profound spirit chi. He would have long lost his life. But at that moment, he was just a step away from death. Su Yun stepped on his chest, holding on to the immortal mystical scarlet blood sword. He was about to pierce his heart. Master Shi too. The 2 men behind rushed forward frantically. But they could not catch up at all. Suddenly, a lazy laughter came out from the depths of the forest. 3 of you tried to catch one, but 1 of you was killed instead. I say, the 3 of you, can you bring honor to our sect? Hearing that, the 2 of them immediately stopped in their track. The 2 of them listened for a while, then revealed joyous expressions. It's Master Jia Shazi, you're finally here? Jia Shazi? Su Yun frowned, ignoring the voice. He immediately took action. But in the next second, the voice came out again. Hey! Su Yun, I advise you not to make a move. If he is in your hands, you can still use him to threaten me, and protect your own life. If you kill him, then you will not have any bargaining chips at all. As the voice fell, a young man wearing a purple Blade Master outfit with a purple sword on his back landed in front of the 2 of them. The man was very handsome, with a pair of beautiful purple eyes. He had a slender figure and a head of long hair that almost reached his waist. His eyes were long and narrow, giving off the feeling that he would never wake up. Su Yun's heart secretly tensed up. The man's chi was actually much thicker than his, and his cultivation was hard to grasp, although he was not clear, but he knew that his strength was definitely above his own. You're right. Su-Yun nodded his head. With your strength, adding the two of them, I'm afraid I will not be able to escape from Black Prison Forest. Seems like I need a bargaining chip. With that, he placed the sword on Shi-Tu's neck, as though he could pierce through him at any time. Truly an intelligent man. Jia Shazi laughed, but was not moved by Su-Yun's actions and spoke lazily. All right, Su-Yun, bring Shi-Tu out of Black Prison Forest. We will not chase after you. I just hope that when you leave Black Prison Forest, you will let this useless trash go. As long as he is fine, I can return to the Profound Sky sect to report, since the failure of the mission is on them. Quickly go. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.